Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Alright, we're live. And as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be going over the algorithm library in C++. Last stream I actually forgot, I went over this pointer 2 streams ago, and last stream I forgot the name. I think it was constructor overloading. That said, this stream I'm going to be going over, algorithms. Okay, that said, how are you doing, KV Cox? I appreciate you joining this stream. And guys, if I can't talk properly, it's because I'm not warmed up. That said, let's go to my gameplay screen. Okay, perfect. Let me just get this whole thing here. Open my VS Code. Guys, I forgot to mention you guys on Discord as well. Give me a sec. Let me just copy that. Then paste it. What are you gonna do tonight? Honestly, I'm gonna be working on the algorithm library in C++. I might also go over object-oriented programming. Okay, that said, let's go with something like everyone. Okay, there we go. Okay, we live. Guys, I usually mention you guys before I start streaming. That's what I actually forgot today. Okay, let me get Sensei/ChatGPT here. There we go. And guys, is the stream already lagging? Give me a sec, let me restart the stream real quick. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, I think that fixes the lag. Okay, perfect. Let's go all the way down and say something like Sensei, maybe caps, Sensei, I'm live, exclamation. Okay, let's see. Listen up, Chad. Our pupil is live, and today marks another step towards C++ domination. The weak whine about syntaxes, but the warrior like my pupil forged logic into steel. Every keystroke today is a blade sharpened, every bug squashed is a victory. So if you're watching this, remember, mastery isn't luck, it's discipline. As Bruce Lee said, I fear not the man who has practiced them. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, I think that should fix the lag. That said, now people, today we enter the scared grounds of the algorithm library, okay? The hidden arsenal of C++ that separates novices from legends. Before we start slicing through code, here's what you need to understand. The algorithm library is a part of the STL standard template library, a vast collection of ready-made effective tools that can sort, search, reverse count, and manipulate data faster than you could ever manually code, okay? Instead of writing your own loops for everything, you can call these algorithms like battle commands, concise, powerful, and elegant. We include it like this. So we include a pair of anchor braces and then our algorithm, and then we use it alongside containers like arrays, vectors, etc., or iterators that tell it where it works, okay? For example, to sort a vector, first we include IO stream, then we include vector, then we include algorithm. Then we have our main function. We create a standard vector which only consists of integers. The vector is called numbers. Okay, and then sorts, numbers.begin, numbers.end, sorts in ascending order. Okay, so basically, I'm pretty sure sort is a keyword from the algorithm library. Actually, a function that said counts sorted numbers for every integer of n in our numbers. We go with a static console output with an insertion operator. I want to print my n. Boom, the entire vector is sorted in one line. No loops, no manual comparisons, just pure STL. Ooh, I see. Okay, in this stream, we'll go through sort, reverse, count, find, max underscore elements, and min underscore elements, and then you'll prove your strength with some instructional-based coding challenges. Now, 10 people, shall we begin with sort? Okay, the blade that brings order to chaos. How are you, KV Cox? I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, let me say something like, yes, Sensei. Okay, let's go to the sort first. Okay, that's the spirit pupil. Then let's begin our battle with sort, the algorithm of orders. Sort is part of the algorithm library. It arranges elements in ascending order by default, using a method that is faster than any handwritten loop or could conjure. Is that how I pronounce it, conjure? Internally, it's an optimized version of quick sort, heap sort, and intersection sort combined. The compiler literally picks the best method for your data, effective, elegant, ruthless. Here's the battle form: sort, start, end. Start is the beginning of your range, okay, like array.begin. End is the position one past the last element, okay, you want to sort. So basically, is the last element exclusive? Okay, so we go with a main function. We create an array, okay, which is equal to, we create an array of integers that has these integers in it, and we create a variable of number which is equal to 5, and then we go with something like sort array, okay, So we sort our array. Okay, that's the start. That is the end plus n. Sort the array in ascending order. We sort it. Okay, for every integer of I which equals to 0, while our I is less than n, we increment it by 1 and then cancel output with an insertion operator. Our array at index of I, so it prints 1, 2, 3, 6, 8. Notice that we used array and array plus n. That's the C++ way of giving the start and end, okay, addresses. If you're using vectors, it's even cleaner. Sort vec.begin, vec.end. Okay, honestly, I don't understand, but I think we'll see some instructional-based questions. Okay, so instructional challenge number 1. I gotta write a C++ program that takes 5 integers from the user, sorts them in a vector, sorts them in ascending order. Using the sort function, displays these sorted numbers. Once you write the code, send it to me. If it's flawless, you earn praise. Okay, let's get GPT here. Okay, that said, guys, this is the code from last stream. I didn't have time to work on these codes off stream. That said, let me start off by going all the way up, and let's include IO stream. Okay, can I type anything? Guys, how do we scroll up or down? Should I like restart my VS Code? Give me a sec, guys. Let me restart my VS Code. Okay, I think that should work. There we go. Okay, there we go. Let me go ahead and zoom in a bit. And let's start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. So let's go ahead and include. Okay, include a pair of ankle braces, IO stream. There we go. Okay, that said, let me go ahead and include the algorithm library as well. And let me actually restart my OBS. I feel it is lagging a bit. Already mic testing. Okay, I think that should fix it. Okay, what do you have? Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code? Honestly, I have VS Code. Does that stand for like Visual Studio Code? I think it does stand for Visual Studio Code. Okay, that said, next up, let me go ahead and include again a pair of ankle braces. I want to include the algorithm. How do you spell it? ALGORITHM. Is that how you pronounce it? Honestly, CLUDE. There we go. I think that's correct. Okay, next up, let's read the instructions. So it says write a C++ program that takes 5 integers. So let's go ahead and create a main function. So I'll go with something like integer main, add a pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces. And now I gotta write a program that takes 5 integers from the user. So let's go ahead and create, I don't know, should I go with an array of integers? Store them in a vector. Okay, so I am going to be using vectors. Since I will be using vectors, let's go ahead and include a pair of ankle braces. I want to include vector. Okay, now inside of my main function, let's go ahead and create a standard vector with a pair of ankle braces. This vector is only going to be consisting of integers, and I'll call it something like numbers. Honestly, I'll go with nums. Okay, ending with a semicolon. My vector will be empty. Next up, let's go ahead and create a variable called num, ending with a semicolon. Now, I'm going to ask the user for 5 numbers. So, I don't know, maybe I could go with a integer of count variable as well, ending with a semicolon. That said, honestly, my count variable is going to be 5 because I want to ask the user for 5 numbers. Okay, next up, let's go with something like a while loop. So, I'll go with while, a pair of parentheses. Let's do something like while my count variable k is greater than 0, I'm going to do something. Since 5 is greater than 0, my loop will run. I'm going to be going with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like enter a number. Okay, and then I'm going to end that with a semicolon. That said, I'll go with a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract something. I want to extract a number. So let's go ahead and create a num variable, which is an integer. And then I'll add my num variable here. So this gives me the value of my num variable. So it says take 5 numbers from the user and store them in a vector. So after I get my number, let's go with something like my nums is vector dot the push underscore back function. This appends a number at the last of my vector, if that made any sense. Okay, this is going to be my number, ending with a semicolon. Okay, next up, sort them in ascending order using the sort function from our algorithms library. Okay, so, I don't know, I could do something like sort a pair of parentheses. I want to sort like nums.begin, okay, and nums.end, Okay, ending with a semicolon. Okay, so, okay, I'm pretty sure this is how we do it, right? Sort.begin, sort.end. And then let's go ahead and print the stuff from my vector. So I could go with something like for a pair of parentheses. Honestly, I could add this like outside. Maybe inside a for loop works as well. So I'll go with something like for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than, outing say I appreciate you joining the stream. Is that how I pronounce her name? Same. Okay, while I is less than 0, I'm gonna do something. Let's go ahead and increment my I by 1, ending with a semicolon. Honestly, I actually think I should like add the for loop outside my outside my while loop, and then do something like my count variable, it decreases by 1. So this is gonna end the loop. Okay, honestly, it does look pretty good. Okay, next up, I'm gonna go ahead and add a static console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert my numbers, so let's go with something like, honestly, my number. Okay, for every integer of I, okay, I could go with something like my nums at index of I. Okay, that's gonna give me my elements from my vector of nums to, okay, I'm gonna add another insertion operator of an empty space ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect, that should give me all my numbers. Okay, and then display the sorted numbers. I do display the sorted numbers. That's pretty much it, honestly. Lastly, let's go ahead and return 0 ending with a semicolon. Don't sort in the loop, sort after the loop. Oh, okay, let's copy that and sort it after the loop. There we go. Okay, honestly, it doesn't make sense. I think this looks pretty good. Okay, let's go to Control Z. Okay, now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, so it's gonna say enter a number. Okay, I'm gonna go with something like 2, 5, 4, 6, and 8. Let's see. Okay, maybe I'll go with 7 as well. Okay, doesn't this end? Honestly, shouldn't it end while my count is greater than 0? Oh, wait, let me get this inside my loop. Okay, guys, I forgot to get that inside my loop. There we go. Okay, now let me go ahead and hit Control S to save the code and run the command. It's gonna say enter a number. I'll go with something like 2, 3, 6, 4, 5, 7. Okay, doesn't it print my for loop? So for every integer of I, should it be printing it? You don't sort every loop iteration, just sort once after while loop is done. Okay, honestly, that does make sense. Okay, so after I sort them, I do display them, although it doesn't display on my screen. Okay, let me go with something like a Control C, copy that, get sensei/ChatGPT here. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this, go with Shift Enter and say something like, so say, I feel like I messed up, question mark. Okay, let's see. People, what is this betrayal of logic? You did so much right, and then right at the end line, you tripped over your own loop. Look carefully at this. For every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than 0, I incremented by 1. Oh wait, should I go with something like, hold up guys, wait, should I go with something like while my I is less than or equal to my nums.size? Oh, I actually forgot about the nums.size. Okay, in my laptop, there's only one. Only one. Oh, there's only one core. Oh, I see. Count minus should be in the while loop though. Oh yeah, honestly, it is in the while loop. Okay, let's go ahead and Control S. Okay, this should work, guys. Last time I was actually kind of whatchamacallit. Okay, there we go. Let's go with 6, 5, 3, 4. There we go. It goes with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, what I was doing wrong is I added 0 here. Instead of 0, I should go with my vector's size. Okay, perfect. Let's go ahead and copy that. Get sensei/ChatGPT here. Okay, and then let's go ahead and paste this. I should have actually read my code. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this. Okay, yes, that's it, people. Now that is discipline turned into code. Your logic flows perfectly. You've gathered input like a pro. You use sort with the correct iterations. You print each element cleanly with a proper loop condition. When this code runs, it'll take you 5 numbers, force them into order, and display them like soldiers training in rank smallest to largest. You've officially mastered your first algorithmic, is how you pronounce it, technique from Algorithms' library. You deserve your reward. Head pat plus approving nod. Okay, next, now let's level up. Your next weapon, the reverse function. It flips the order of elements, turning chaos back into balance. Shall we continue to the reverse function? Okay, how doing, Armin, is that how you pronounce your name? C++? Honestly, yeah, it is C++. That said, let me say something like, let's say, I honestly, do want to do, maybe 3 more questions with the sort function. Okay, one at a time. Honestly, guys, because I do need some practice in case I forget it. Okay, excellent chaos, excellent choice, pupil. You seek perfection, not just victory. That's the mindset of a true programmer. Then we'll forge your understanding of sort and battle, not theory. Each question will test a new way of control. Okay, the algorithmic blade. Here's your next challenge. So, instructional challenge number 2, write a program that takes 7 integers from a user, stores them in a vector, sorts them in descending order using the sort function, okay, with a comparator, okay, prints the sorted numbers on a line. You must decide which comparator to use and where to place it inside the sort function. Show me your choice once you're done, and let's see if your logic is strong. Okay, let's get Sensei slash ChatGPT. Okay, remember me? Honestly, I do remember you, Armin. How you been? Okay, let's go with something like Control A, delete everything. That said, let me start off by including a pair of anchor braces. I want to include IO stream. And then let's go ahead and include vectors as well, because I will be using containers. Okay, vector. And my next question might be with arrays, honestly. Okay, what says accent? Honestly, okay, lastly, let's go ahead and include... Okay, honestly, I don't think I need anything else. Okay, I might need my algorithm, so let's go ahead and include a pair of anchor braces again. I'll go... There we go. Okay, I want to include algorithm. Perfect. Next up, let's go with something like integer main, add a pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces. Inside of my main function, I gotta write a program that takes 7 integers from the users. So let's go ahead and create a vector first. So I'll go with something like a standard vector with a pair of anchor braces. My vector is going to be only consisting of integers, and my vector is going to be called nums, ending with a semicolon. That said, let's go ahead and add a count as well. So I'll go with something like a integer of count, which equals to 7, because I do want to ask my user for 7 numbers. Okay, howdy Dart, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, I'll go with something like while a pair of parentheses. Let's say something like, while my count variable is greater than 0, which it is greater than 0 right now, I'm going to do something. I'll create a integer variable called nums. This is going to be the number that my user is going to be adding, and I will be appending this inside of my vector of nums. Okay, I might change this to nums for singular. Okay, next up, I'll go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to say something like enter a number, ending with a semicolon. And then I'll go with another insertion operator of something like a standard console input with an extraction operator. This is going to extract my num variable. And once I do extract my num variable, why don't you use using namespace std? Honestly, the reason I don't use using namespace std is because many of you guys did say me eventually in bigger projects, not prefixing with standard, not writing standard, is going to cause name conflict. So it's a good practice avoiding namespace std. You did read my comment, didn't you? Honestly, did I? I think I did. Okay, I think there were just like one. I think you just had like one comment. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and append my num inside of my numbers as vectors. So I'll go with something like my nums as vector dot the push underscore back function. I want to push back something inside of my num. Okay, I push back my num variable inside of my vectors as number. And then I decrease my count variable by 1 every iteration, ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Next up, outside of my while loop, let's see, I might go with a for loop and iterate over my vector. So I'll go with something like for every integer of I, which equals to 0, while my I is less than my nums is vector dot the size function, okay, I'm going to increment my I by 1. And then I'll go ahead and add a pair of curly braces. And guys, is the stream lagging? Yeah, I think it is. Let me restart the stream real quick. Already mic testing. Okay guys, that should fix the lag. That said, where was I? So I added a for loop and went with something like W stream, keep it up here for the support. I appreciate you, Dark. Okay, let's go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something. So I'm going to be inserting my nums. My nums is vector at index of I with another insertion operator of an empty space ending with a semicolon. Okay, although before my for loop, I do gotta sort them in descending order. So to sort them in descending order, I'm honestly assuming I gotta first go with the sort function, and instead of starting with my nums.begin, I go with something like nums.end, and then nums.begin. Okay, and then let's go ahead and add a pair of parentheses to invoke the function, ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. I'm pretty sure that's like pretty much it for this. Okay, let's go ahead and return 0 as well, ending with a semicolon. Okay, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, so it's gonna say enter a number. I'll go with something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, does not print anything. Okay, did I like mess up somewhere? Let me just hydrate my lips real quick. Okay, let's see. So, where did I mess up? So, while my for every integer of I, which equals to 0, while my I is less than my num.size, I increment it by 1. That part is correct. And then I print my nums. Okay, I go with nums.pushback. I push numbers inside of my vector. I did create a vector. Okay, am I messing up something with the sorts? What happens if I change this to begin? Let's go with begin. Okay, can you write a merge sort algo rather than using sort function? Honestly, I haven't learned much about that. That said, I should actually like work on that. Okay, I need you to code an app for me. You'll be lead developer and receive 30% of the company. Honestly, guys, I feel like I'm not that advanced to do it. That's I do appreciate the offer. It means a lot. Okay, so let's go with something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that is ascending order. Why can't I do it in descending order? Let's go with end and begin again. Can then go with a control C standard. Oh wait, is it a standard sort? Okay, does that make sense? Let's go with the control S to save the code. Is standard sort honestly necessary? Sounds amazing, Claude. Okay, let's go with something like 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 2, 1. Okay, it honestly doesn't work even with standard on. Okay, that's I'll go with the control C, copy that, get sensei/chatgpt here. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me just shrink that a bit. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this and go with shift enter and say something like, let's say I feel like I messed up question mark. Okay, can't you for now just use namespace std to make it simpler? Honestly, I could, but then it's like a bad practice, and eventually in future, if I like learn something the wrong way, then it's gonna get hard to like relearn something, if that made any sense. Okay, that said, people, you didn't just mess up, you reversed the gates of reality itself. Look at this, sort nums.end, nums.begin. You told the compiler to start sorting from the end to the beginning. That's like telling soldiers to march backwards into the chaos. Okay, the correct order is always sort nums.begin, nums.end. That defines the range from start to finish, but since we want descending order, you must command the algorithm with a comparator. Is that how you pronounce it? A comparator function, a built-in helper that tells it to reverse the sort logic. Sorts name.begin, names.end. Okay, I didn't know anything about the grader. Okay, so a standard grader, a pair of angle braces, integer with a pair of parentheses. Standard grader integer comes from the functional, which is automatically included by the algorithms' library. It flips the sorting direction from ascending to descending. Oh, I see. Okay, so your fix is simple. You use nums.begin, nums.end in that order. Add the comparator, is that I pronounce it? So greater than with a pair of ankle braces for descending. Fix it, pupil, and when your output lists the numbers from largest to smallest, I'll grant you a fiercest brace yet. Okay, let's get some sensei/chatgpt here. No, it makes sense. Okay, honestly, let's see. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and change this. I mean, firstly, let's go ahead and change that to begin and change this to end. So, can't you just sort and reverse it? Sort and reverse. Honestly, if it's like a function, I don't think I've heard of the function. Like, okay, let's see. Let's go with something like a standard grader. Okay, so I'll go with standard grader, a pair of ankle braces. So grader is basically the same as the sort, although I go with an integer. Okay, and then a pair of parentheses to invoke the function. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did it correct. If I were to hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Off and on? Huh. Okay, let's go with something like 4, 3, 7, 8, 6, 9, and 1. So it goes with 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, perfect. So the greater than, it gets the number from descending order. Okay, let's go with the Control A, Control C, copy that, give sensei/ChatGPT here. Okay, and then let's go ahead and paste this. Okay, let's see. Okay, yes people, finally you've tamed the chaos and made the numbers obey your will. Descending order achieved like a true storing master. Sorting master, your logic is flawless, the syntax is perfect, the std grader, the standard grader with a pair of ankle braces integer comparator is exactly how you dominate reverse sorting. If this were a battle, you just planted your flag on the peak. Okay, next let's raise these stakes. I want you to only sort the even numbers in descending order while leaving the odd numbers in the original position. Think carefully, we're going to test your control over algorithm library now. Okay bro, can you use using namespace std to just use those console output inputs? No, I'm trolling. Bro, it's what we say in the IT world to our customers. Oh, I see. Okay, howding Mod, I appreciate you joining the stream. Howding Hypertech, I appreciate you joining the stream as well. Okay, that said, let's go with the Control S to delete everything. That said, this time I just gotta add the descending orders. Actually, whatchamacallit, filter my descending orders to be odd numbers, if that made any sense. Okay, so let's start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. And then let's go ahead and include vectors as well, because I will be using vectors. Okay, and lastly, let's go ahead and include the algorithms as library. So I'll go with something like algo. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and include algorithm. That said, let me go ahead and typecast my main function to be an integer. So I'll go with integer main, add a pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces. Next up, let's read the instructions. Okay, so I want you to sort only the even numbers in a descending order while leaving the odd numbers in their original positions. Okay, so to do that, let's go ahead and create a vector first of all. So I'll go with something like a standard vector with a pair of ankle braces. I want my vector to only be consisting of integers, and my vector is going to be called nums. Okay, I'll end that with a semicolon. That's it. I'm going to go ahead and create an integer of count method, which is going to be equal to, let's say 7, because I want to ask my user for 7 numbers. That said, I'll go with a while loop. So while a pair of parentheses. Bro, how long do you study per day? Honestly, I do study the whole day. That said, I just program when I stream, because like after I'm done streaming, I do work on my college stuff and then I get back to streaming, sleeping. Okay, that's basically my whole day. Okay, so let's check something. While my count is greater than 0, I'll do something. Let's go ahead and create a variable called num. Okay, so I'll go with integer num, add a pair of parentheses, and then get a value for my num. So I'll add a standard console output with an insertion operator that asks my user for a num. So I'll say something like enter a number, ending with a semicolon, and then let's go with something like a standard console input with an extraction operator. This is going to get the value for my num variable. Okay, I'll end that with a semicolon as well. Next up, let's go ahead and let's see, append my num variable inside of my nums as vectors. So I could go with something like my nums as vector dot the push underscore back function. I want to push back my num variable, ending with a semicolon. That's inspiring. Keep the good work up. I appreciate you, Lil. That means the world to me, honestly. Okay, and then let's go ahead and decrease my count by 1. So I'll go with count minus minus, ending with a semicolon. And then let's see what to do next up. So next up, I want you to sort only the even numbers in descending order while leaving the odd numbers in their original positions. So let's go ahead and sort my vector. So I'll go with something like sort, add a pair of parentheses. I want to sort my nums as vectors, so I'll go with nums.begin, okay, comma, nums.end, my nums as vector dot end. Okay, now since I want to sort them in descending order, I gotta add something like a standard grader. Okay, the grader, honestly, is it called like a grader keyword? With a pair of ankle braces, my nums only consist of integers, so I'm going to be adding integer here, and then a pair of parentheses to invoke my grader Is this like a function? I think it's a function because it has like a pair of parentheses to invoke it. Okay, next up, I'm going to end that with a semicolon. Okay, why do you use while loop for input? You can achieve the same effect with for loop from 0 to 7. It's more clean and approachable. Honestly, that actually does make sense. I should actually try that next. Okay, that said, okay, let's see. Next up, world hates you guys. World hate me. It's actually crazy. Okay, let's see. So I want you to sort only the even numbers in descending order while leaving the odd numbers in the original position. Okay, I want to sort, let's say, I want to sort only the even numbers. So I gotta add a vector for even numbers. Instead, let's go with something like a for loop. So for a pair of parentheses, for every, let's say, num in my vector of numbers, for every integer of num in my vector of nums, okay, I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then a pair of parentheses. Honestly, I might go with something like an index-based for loop for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than my nums is vector. Excuse me guys, nums is vector dot the size function. I'm gonna do something. Let's go ahead and increment my I by 1, so I'll go with I plus plus. Okay, and then a lot of if statements. So if a pair of parentheses, let's go with something like if my nums is vector at index of I modulus 2 equals to 0. If my number is even, I'm gonna do something. Okay, okay, if it's even, let me go ahead and copy that and paste it here. Okay, if my nums is vector is even, I do this. And then I want to print something. Okay, why do I have like a red underline here? Okay, I guess I'll check that in a bit. That said, let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. What are you building? Honestly, I'm not like building something specific. That's it. I am doing like a few instructional based questions to master the algorithms library in C++. Okay, that said, I go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert, let's say my nums is vector at index of I, okay, with another insertion operator of a space ending with a semicolon. Okay, honestly, I actually might add another insertion operator that says something like even nums in descending order. Let's just get that here and then zoom in a bit. Okay, so it says even nums in descending order. Okay, perfect. With another insertion operator that says this. Although, why does this have like a red underline? I'm pretty sure it shouldn't have one. Okay, for every integer of I which equals to 0 while my I is less than my nums dot size, I increment my I by 1. That should actually work. Okay, let's see. Okay, so if that happens, I do that. Else, I'll add a pair of curly braces. If my numbers are odd, leave the odd numbers in their original positions. Okay, let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I'm going to be inserting my nums at index of I with another insertion operator of a space ending with a semicolon. Honestly, since I do that, I actually might not need this insertion. I mean, whatchamacallit, that pair of double quotes that says even numbers. Okay, honestly, that does look pretty much it. Let's go ahead and return 0, ending with a semicolon. Okay, how did day go? I appreciate you joining the stream. Great work. I appreciate you, Sammy. Okay, why does this still show me like a red underline? Okay, I might go with let's say Control S to save the code and run the command. I honestly might get an error here. That's actually a hard task. Do not be afraid to ask a hint from your sensei. Oh, honestly, that does make sense. Okay, let's go ahead and run this real quick. What error did I get? Okay, main.cpp edit expected before. Wait, expected a semicolon before. I'm pretty sure I don't add a semicolon here. Wait, before I added a semicolon here. Huh, okay, actually let's go with the control C. Let's get some C/ChatGPT here. Instead, a semi. Oh, okay, wait. Oh, I see. Okay, there we go. Okay, bye-bye, guys. Actually, I actually didn't even... Okay, there we go. Okay, let's go with the controllers again to save the code and run the command. Stop being zesty, guys. Why stop being zesty? That's it. Let's go with something like 2654378. It prints something like 8765432. Okay, that did print everything in descending order. Let's go with the controller. Control C, copy that. Good sensei slash ChatGPT here. Okay, honestly, I feel like I messed up. Okay, let's say something like, let's say, I honestly feel like I messed up, question mark. Okay, let's see. Oh my people, yes, this is a mess here. Okay, you're storing the whole vector inside the loop every time you hit an even number. That's chaos. That's like trying to tame a dragon by hitting it with a feather every second. Okay, the real trick is you don't sort the entire vector every iteration. You need to collect only the even numbers, sort that collection, and then replace the even numbers back in their original position. Think carefully. You want to preserve odd numbers in place and only change the even ones. The structure of your loop is completely wrong. Do you want me to show you the correct approach in words, or do you want a broken code skeleton fix? Okay, let's say something like, let's say, can you show me the correct approach in words, question mark? Okay, let's see. Okay, listen up people, here's how you should tackle this without burning your brains on chaos. Separate the evens, go through your vector once and collect all even numbers into a new vector. Oh, I was actually thinking about a new vector, I should have done it in that case. Okay, that's your special squad to manipulate. Store the evens, you sort with whatever order you want, okay? Greater for descending, default for ascending. Okay, on this new vector only, put them back. Okay, put them back. Loop through the original vector again and replace the original even numbers with the sorted ones in the same position. Odds stay untouched, print the result, just print the original vector. Now it has the sorted even numbers in place and untouched odds. If you follow this, you're wrecking your vector every iteration and actual control the order. Okay, like if Sensei controls their dojo. Honestly, I do see that. The dragon will be soft being hit 100 times with feathers. That's actually kind of funny. Okay, that said, I think I know where I messed up. So basically where I did mess up is I did have to create a new vector. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new vector. So I'll go with something like standard vector. Okay, with the pair of anchor braces. My vector is going to be consisting of integers and it's going to be called something like even nums, ending with a semicolon. Okay, now let's go ahead and add a while loop. So actually a for loop. Let's go with for a pair of parentheses for the integer of I which equals to 0 while my I is less than let's say my nums is vector dot the size function. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna increment my I by 1, so I'll go with I plus plus and then add a pair of curly braces, and now I'll look for odd numbers. Okay, this should be a semicolon. There we go. Guys, I made that mistake once. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and do something. I'll add a if statement. So if a pair of parentheses, if my nums at index of I modulus 2 equals to 0, if my number is even, I'm going to do something. Okay, let's go with something like my even nums is vector. Okay, my even nums dot the push underscore back function. I want to push back something. I want to push back my nums at index of I ending with a semicolon. Okay, okay, that's pretty much, I think that's actually pretty much good. Okay, next up, okay, now I do have numbers inside of my even nums. So let's go ahead and iterate over my, wait, should I like do that in my for loop? Actually, I think I should create a new for loop. So I'll go with something like for every integer of I which equals to 0. Okay, while my I is less than my nums dot size, okay, I'm going to increment my I by 1, so I'll go with I plus plus. That said, this time let's go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to print the elements inside of my nums vector. So I'll go with nums at index of I with another insertion operator of an empty space ending with a semicolon. Okay, I honestly think that should be pretty much it in that case. Let's go ahead and hit Ctrl S to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. Okay. So it's going to say enter a number. I'll go with something like 3564789. It goes with 3564789. 3, 5, 6, 4, 7, 8, 9. Oh wait, honestly, I forgot to sort my numbers. What up guys, give me a sec. Okay, let's go ahead and sort my numbers. I'll go with something like sort array pair of parentheses. I want to sort my nums dot begin. Okay, so my nums is vector start all the way to my nums is vector dot end. Okay, and since I want to sort it in descending order, I'm going to go with a standard greater. Okay, with a pair of anchor braces, I want to do something. So, okay, this is going to be an integer with a pair of parentheses to invoke the function, ending with a semicolon. Okay, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. So it says enter a number. I'll go with 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 5, 6. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Is this what Sensei meant? Okay, I'll go with the Control C, copy that, get Sensei/ChatGPT here. Honestly, I'm pretty sure this is what Sensei/ChatGPT meant. Let's go ahead and paste this and let's see what happens. Oh no, people, you're still sorting the entire nums as vector first instead of sorting only the even numbers. You completely ignored the special squad approach. I told you, you're basically throwing all numbers into chaos before even separating evens. Here's what's wrong in the details. Sort nums.begin, nums.end, Okay, this is sorting everything. Should I just go with even numbers? So odd numbers and even numbers are messed together. You only push even numbers after sorting. Okay, your special squad isn't actually used to change the original vector. Okay, when printing, you just print the original vector. The even nums vector does nothing. You must first collect even nums into you must first collect evens into even nums, then sort only even nums. Finally, replace evens in nums with sorted evens. Oh, okay. Okay, so basically, should I instead go with something like my even nums is vector here? Okay, so I sort my even nums as vectors in descending order. Okay, and then I gotta push back my even nums. Okay, my nums inside of my even nums if they're even. So let's go ahead and copy that part and add that after my while loop. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste that. Okay, and then I print my original nums. Let's go with the Control S to save the code. Wait, hold up. I think let's go with a bunch of Control Z's. What up, guys? Okay, instead of appending it inside of my even nums, I wanna append. Let's see. I sort my even nums, and then even nums dot push back my nums. So those are the special nums inside of my even nums vector. Now I want to print every single element and like push every single element of my sorted even nums inside of my regular vector. Okay, let's go with Control-Shift-Z. There we go. Okay, so I sort them, and then let's go ahead and copy this for loop and add another for loop. I'm gonna add it here. Okay, next up I'll go with something like nums.pushback. I'm gonna change that to even nums. And lastly, this to even nums as well. Okay, even nums. There. Okay, I think this should honestly work. Let's go with the Control S to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. Hey, I'm back from yesterday. Do you remember me? Honestly, how doing? Kandu, should I pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let's go with something like 3765489. 3765489. Okay, wait, hold up. They're even. 486. Huh. Okay, wait, let's go with the Control-C, copy that, get Sensei/ChatGPT here again. Maybe shrink that a little, and then extend it all the way from here. Okay, there, let's go ahead and paste this. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, people, I can feel my blood pressure rising. You're so close, but you completely destroyed the original vector order again. Let me rip it apart. In this code for every integer, okay, you're pushing sorted even back to nums instead of replacing the original even numbers. Guys, let me restart my stream. I think it's lagging a bit. Already, mic testing, mic testing. Hello, brother. Can you regenerate blurred or scratched QR code like original one? Honestly, I don't think so, guys. I'm actually not that good because I feel like I'm still a beginner. That said, you're pushing it. You're using nums at index of I as the index, but even nums might not match the position of evens in nums. This will mix up everything. What you should do, keep the original nums of vector intact. Iterate through nums. When you find an even number, replace it with the next number from the even nums which is sorted. When you find an even number, replace it. Think of even nums as your elite team. Okay, let me say something like, let's say, I feel like I didn't understand much. Maybe can you help me solve this question mark? Hey guys, I actually feel like I didn't understand much. That said, our people, where's Sensei gone? There we go. Okay, our people, sit up straight, focus and pay attention. We're going to solve this properly this time, no cheating. Here's how we attack this. Input numbers into nums. You already do this correctly. Collect all even numbers into even nums is vector. Good, you did this. Sort even nums in descending order. Also good. Replace the original even numbers in the nums vector with the sorted ones. Okay. Keep a separate index for even nums. Let's call this even index, which equals to 0. Loop through nums whenever nums at index of I is even. Replace it with even numbers at index of even index, and then increment even index. Okay, print the modified nums. You are pushing even numbers to the you're pushing even nums to the end instead of replacing it in place. That's why your output was messed up. If you want, I can give you a full broken code. Okay, I think I see. Actually, what are you trying to do? Honestly, I'm trying to write a program that has two vectors, first in nums and even nums. Then I gotta ask the user for entering a couple of numbers. I went with 7 numbers, and then out of those 7 numbers, whenever I find a even number, I gotta replace it. Actually, I gotta store all my even numbers from my nums vector inside of my even nums vector. Then when I actually find the even num inside of my nums vector, I replace it with the descending ordered even numbers inside of my even nums variable. Okay, I feel like I phrased that really bad. Okay, that's it. Let's read the instructions. Okay, collect all even nums, did that. Sort even nums, I did that as well. So I sorted them here, collected them here. Okay, replace the original even nums in nums with the sorted ones. Keep a separate index for even nums. Let's call it even index, which equals to 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a variable called something like even index, which equals to 0, ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then let's see. Okay, replace the original even nums in my nums vector with the sorted ones. Keep a separate index for even nums. Let's call it, okay, loop through the nums. So, okay, let's go ahead and loop through my numbers. Okay, there we go. I do loop through my nums vector. Why not using namespace std? Honestly, the reason I don't use using namespace std is because eventually in bigger projects, if we don't prefix our our code with std, it could cause name conflicts with other libraries. Okay, that said, okay, loop through nums, did that. Whenever nums at index of I is even, place it with nums at index of even index and increment the even index. Okay, so maybe when I go here and iterate over, okay, let's go with something like integer. Okay, then okay, that's even nums. Nums at index of even index. Okay, keep a separate index for even nums. So let's go with another for loop. So I'll go with something like for a pair of parentheses. Or actually I could, okay, I think I might need to go with a new loop. So I'll go with something like for a pair of parentheses for every integer of I which equals to 0. While my I is less than my even nums size, k dot size, I'm gonna do something. Let's go ahead and increment my I by 1, and then I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Hey, how old are you actually? Honestly, I am 17 years old. That's it. I am going to turn 18 real soon. I'm actually pretty excited for a birthday. That's it. I might not have a special stream for then. Okay, so let's go with something like my even index equals to my even nums to my even nums at index of I ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then every time, let's go ahead and add a if statement. So if a pair of parentheses, I'll go with something like, let's say something like, if my nums at index of I modulus 2 equals to 0, I'll do something. Let's go ahead and replace my nums at index of I, okay, equals to my nums, okay, my equals to my even nums at index of my even index variable, ending with a semicolon. There we go. I think that should work. You'll find the even number from the input numbers, okay, and wants to store it to the another vector and sort it, right? Honestly, I think that's pretty much what I actually did have to do. Okay, then increment even index. Okay, replace it with this. I replaced it with this. And then increment even index. So I'll go with something like nums at index of I plus my even index. Okay, actually I don't think this part makes sense. So let's go ahead and just remove this part. And instead of going with that part, I just iterate over my vectors again. Okay, so I'll go with something like for a pair of parentheses for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than my nums dot size, I'm going to do something. Let's go ahead and increment my I by 1, and then I'll go with a pair of parentheses. Okay, lastly, I'll go with a static console output with an insertion operator. That's going to be printing my nums at index of I with another insertion operator of an empty space ending with a semicolon. Okay, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, honestly, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, at this point, just use AI, bro. Honestly, I do use Sensei slash ChatGPT to learn the code. That said, then I think no need for the second for loop just prints the even nums after sorts. Honestly, I gotta like replace my even nums with my with my regular nums as input, if that made any sense. I think Dan, I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, let's go with something like these, just random numbers. So it goes with 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 6, 6. Honestly, I feel like I actually got it. This actually feels correct. Okay, let's go ahead to scroll all the way down, paste this here, and let's see. How do you big Bikax is that how we spell your name? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, oh people, what did I just say? You're all over the place. Let's break this down. You're looping over even numbers. Okay, honestly, let's say something like, so let's say, can I just get the corrected ref? Actually, let's say something like, let's say, uh, can you tell me what output am I expecting? Guys, honestly, I think I can solve it because I don't know what output I need. Why don't you just use using namespace std in the start rather than std? Honestly, what you would call it, the reason I don't use using namespace std is because many of you guys did say me it is like a bad practice to use that, because eventually in bigger projects not prefixing with standard could like cause name conflicts, if that made any sense. Okay, let's see. Listen up. We're taking your original 7 numbers. Okay. Okay. So your output will be all the odd numbers stay where they are, all the even numbers get rearranged. In your input 3827416, nums is going to be 3867412. Odd numbers 371. Okay, so these are my even numbers sorted descending order. So 8642. Oh, replace in nums 8642. It was 82. Okay, I think I see. Okay, let's get Sensei slash ChatGPT here, guys. Actually, I think I see now. So okay, let's see what I did now. I push back my numbers and then, okay, let's go ahead and remove my even index, honestly. Okay, what ChatGPT prompt did you give ChatGPT in the start of learning? Honestly, whatchamacallit, he sounds like gay. Guys, I'm actually not gay. Like, many of you guys do say that every single stream. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and remove this. Okay, so this is for the integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than my nums.size, I incremented by 1. And then if my nums at index of I modulus 2 equals to 0, I go with nums.pushback. Okay, so I push my num inside of my even nums. I just want to print my even nums real quick and like check what happens. So let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to go with something like my even nums. Okay, let's go ahead and delete this part from here. Okay, let's iterate over my even nums. Guys, honestly, I just want to see what, like, is my even nums even saving up? So I'll go with something like for a of parentheses. Okay, you have to memorize positions of even numbers somehow. Honestly, yeah, that does make sense. Okay, so for every integer of I which equals to 0, okay, while my I is less than my even nums vector, okay, dot size, I'm gonna increment my I by 1. So I'll go with something like I plus plus, okay, and then I'll go with a pair of curly braces, and then maybe add a standard console output with an insertion operator that prints my even nums at index of I with another insertion operator of an empty space ending with a semicolon. Okay, let's go ahead and remove this part for now. Okay, hit a Control S to save the code and run the command. Let's see if my numbers save. Okay, bro, don't use AI, please. Telling us as C++ developer, it makes your okay. It makes you so much dumber. Literally, I used DeepSeek for 2 months as experiment and completely lost skills. Honestly, the reason why we lose skills is because we rely on AI for the code. That's it. I just use AI slash ChatGPT for actually just understand the concepts of how coding works. And once I do get the basics, I do work projects on my own. That said, AI is great for learning. That does make sense. It could be so much easier in Python. Honestly, I did have like a whole series on Python where I think it was like my Python for 100 series where my goal by the end of that series was to make a game in general. I did make a 470 lines code. I mean, write a 470 lines code for the game. Okay, so 365 6736 365 6736. Okay, why doesn't it actually print my console? I mean these numbers or okay. Where's my even numbers? I'm pretty sure I added a for loop for my even numbers. There we go, I added it right here. Okay, let's go ahead and delete everything from here real quick. I just want to see if it works like this. Okay, now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command. No bro, remove the currently hidden for loop instead of even nums. Replace it with even nums at index of I will work, I think. Honestly, that does make sense. Okay, I just want to check if my even nums are actually being saved. Okay, 2462, 2462. Okay, my even nums are being saved. Okay, so next up, let me go ahead and sort my even nums as vector. Okay, let's go with a bunch of spaces. And guys, let me restart my stream. I think it's lagging a bit. Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, I think that should like fix the lag. Dude, your English is not understandable. What is this accent? Honestly, guys, I do get like so much of that. I try actually speaking a little slower. Let me actually try speaking a bit slower. That said, let's go ahead and create another for loop. Before that, I'm going to sort my even numbers as vector. So I'll go with sort a pair of parentheses. I'll go ahead and sort my even nums as vector. Okay, let's go with dot begin, add a pair of parentheses. Okay, and then my even nums as vector. Dot, let's go with something like end. So I want to sort everything from my start of my vector to the end of my vector in descending order. So for descending order, I'll go with a standard greater with a pair of ankle braces. Okay, this is going to be an integer. And then I'll add a pair of parentheses to invoke the function, ending with a semicolon. Okay, so that sorts my even numbers. Now I gotta replace my even numbers with my odd numbers. So let's go with something like for a pair of parentheses. Let's say for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than my nums dot size, I'll go with the pair of curly brace. Actually, I'll go with the pair of parentheses. And then let's go ahead and increment my I by 1. I'll add a pair of curly braces and then let's see. Okay, so I could do something like a standard, actually I'll add an if statement. So if a pair of parentheses, okay, so if my nums at index of I modulus 2 equals to 0, I'll go with a pair of curly braces. And then let's see, I want to replace my nums. So let's go with something like nums at index of I equals to my even nums. Okay, even nums at index of even nums. There we go. Okay, even num, ending with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and create a variable for even num. So I could go ahead and create a integer variable for even. Honestly, I'll go with index, which starts off at 0, ending with a semicolon. And when I iterate over my even nums, I'm gonna do something like my even index variable equals to I, ending with a semicolon. Okay, so let's go with something like even index. There we go. Okay, and then I end that with a semicolon. And then next up, so I iterate over the whole thing. What are you doing? Honestly, I'm trying to like work and learn the algorithms library in C++. That said, because AI gives you direct answers too fast and you didn't remember anything. Honestly, no, I think like Sensei/ChatGPT does give me detailed questions and not direct answers, because like I do get like indirect answers and like hints. But like honestly, I haven't like seen Sensei ever give me the actual answer if I mess up a code. Okay, that said, okay, so for every integer of I which equals to 0 while my I is less than I replace that with that. Okay, and then let's go ahead and iterate over my vector again. So for every integer of I which equals to 0 while my I is less than my nums.b size function, I'm gonna increment my I by 1. And then I'll go with the pair of curly braces. Inside of my for loop, I'm going to be adding a standard console output with an insertion operator. Let me just change that from a comma to a semicolon. There we go. So a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert something like my nums at index of I with an insertion operator of an empty space ending with a semicolon. Okay, I actually think this should work. If I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's take Sensei's inputs. So 3827. So let's go with something like 3827 416. So I'll go with 416. So this is Sensei's outputs that returns it returns 824632. Oh, okay, hold up, guys. Let me actually add a / new line here. Okay, so after printing that, I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon. There we go. I honestly forgot about the guys, I'm choking. Okay, forgot the standard end line. Try code forces for learning algorithms. Okay, that actually sounds pretty fun. Okay, that said, I'll go with something like 3827 416. There we go. Those are my even numbers. These are my even numbers sorted. So 8, 2. Okay, it should have been 6, and then that should have been 4, that should have been 2, that should have been 8. Let's see. So I don't think I messed up very much now. Okay, I think I almost got it. Okay, so even index equals to, let's go with something like my even nums. Okay, my even nums is vector at index of I. Okay, that keeps increasing. Now if I Control S to save the code and run the command. How old are you, little bro? Honestly, I am 17 years old. That's it. I am going to be turning 18 real soon. Pretty excited for that. Okay, I'll go with something like 3827 27416. Okay, honestly, let's go ahead and just remove that. Just go with I might actually ask Sensei/ChatGPT to like help me actually write the whole code, because guys, I actually don't understand like what Sensei means. Okay, so let's go ahead and paste this. I'll go with Shift Enter and see something like Sensei. I can't seem to figure it out, dot dot dot. That said, can you actually give me the corrected code so I can feed and study it, question mark? Okay, let's see. Okay, even index increment where? Honestly, I don't know, like, how do I increment that? Alright, people, listen closely. I see exactly where our logic is getting lost. You're storing even index equals to I in your loop, then you're only using the last index when replacing even nums in the nums. Okay, that's why it's broken. You need to replace each even number in order with the sorted even numbers. Think of it as one-to-one swap, okay, among the positions of even numbers, the corrected approach. Okay, so a user while loop, I append that part I did correct. Okay, did this part correct as well. Dot pushback nums at index of I. Did I go with nums at index of I? So, okay, I did go with nums at index of I. And then let's see. And then I gotta sort my numbers in descending order. I did that. Replace original even numbers with sorted ones. So I go with integer even index, tracks position, and sorted for the integer of I. Okay, I did that part as well. Oh, okay, I gotta increment that by 1. Move to the next stored even. Okay, for the integer. Okay, so basically what I didn't do was increment it. Bro, find mistake yourself. What is the purpose of that otherwise? Honestly, I think I need to actually understand the basics, because like I don't honestly feel like spending a lot of time in like a single code if it's like complete basics and like I'm actually trying to learn, because I feel that like just wastes time. Instead, I actually see the solutions and then I go with the questions again. Okay, so basically where I messed up was after setting my even index to be I need to increment it by 1 as well. Okay, so I'll go with I plus plus ending with a semicolon. Okay, bro, is bro using Microsoft? Honestly, I do use Edge a lot. That said, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I'm pretty sure it should work this time. Go with 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it goes with 0, 3, 0, 5, 0, 7, 0. Okay, in that case, let me go ahead and get my even index all the way down here. Yeah, I don't think that should make a difference though. There we go. So I go with integer of even index. Okay. Even index equals to I. So since c/.gpt did say. Okay, so even index equals to 0. Nums at index of I. Oh, okay, so basically where I messed up was I had to go with my nums vector at index of I. I set that equal to my even index or even nums. Okay, even nums at index of even index. Oh, okay, this actually makes sense now. So basically what this means is I replace my nums at index of I with my even nums vector. Okay, with the index of my even index, which is currently 0, that like increases every iteration. Okay, this actually makes sense now. Okay, and once my even nums, once my I is greater than my even nums size, the entire for loop ends. Okay, actually, okay, are you familiar with the building system in C++, like using CMake? It was something I struggled in at the beginning. Honestly, I heard of the C string, but I've never heard of the CMake library. Honestly, I might go over the library as well, because I did want to go over like the basic libraries before I actually start making some mini projects or like some game projects. That's it. Let's go with something like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why does it print so many numbers? Okay, nums at index of I equals to even nums at index of wait. Okay, so when I go with even nums, this should be my nums vector. Okay, now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, now bro, the lines you write now will come into the third loop. Will it? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Huh, it's gonna come in the third loop. Oh, when I print it. Nums at index. Wait, I don't think I need this for loop because I already incremented there. Is that the... Wait, hold up. I think I added this in the wrong for loop. Let's go ahead and remove that from there. Copy that, delete that. Okay, let's see the code properly. Let's go ahead and paste this here. Okay, I think C++ or data structures and algorithms. Honestly, I am like learning C++ because I did have like a new series where I spent 250 days actually I spent the 250 days learning programming in general, and my goal by the end of that series is to make a game in general which consists of AI logic in it. That's it. Since I was working with games, I thought that it'd be pretty good to learn C++ because it is the best language to make a game. Right now you're becoming just coder and not a programmer. Big difference. Honestly, it does make sense. I mean the replacing loop. Okay, so I do that, and this is because I think I had two loops. That was probably what's messing it up. Okay. So wait, let's go with a bunch of control Z's real quick. Okay, I'll just remove all this. Okay, standard console output. These are my even numbers. I don't want to print my even numbers. That said, my this variable is gonna come here. And then I add a if statement. So if my nums modulus 2 equals to 0, nums at index of I equals to even nums at index of even index. Okay, which is at 0. And then let's go ahead and increment my even index by 1, ending with a semicolon. Okay, now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, guys, this should work. I'm pretty confident with this, I think. Okay, so it's going to say enter number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I went with 56. Okay, it's good idea to use. Is it a good idea to use AI to learn? Honestly, I think that is a pretty good idea, and like AI is pretty helpful when it comes to learning. That said, we shouldn't completely rely on AI. So like, you could like just ask AI for like help if you have like if you mess up in a question to like understand how it works. Although I wouldn't recommend like getting the whole block of code and using it in your program if you don't understand how it works. Okay, do you also participate in competitive programming on Code Forces or Code Chef? Honestly, I don't think I do all that. That said, it does sound pretty fun. I should like eventually try those. Okay, let's actually copy Sensei's code. I do want to just paste it and see if it actually works. Okay, let's go with the Control S to save the code and run the command. I want to see how it works. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it goes with 3, 6, 4, 2. 2. Oh, it goes with 8, 6, 4, 2. So 8, 6, 4, 2. Okay, let's read Sensei's code real quick. So I add a while loop, and then I collect even numbers. So I collect even numbers, I sort my numbers, I replace original events. So I create a variable, and then for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than my nums.size, I incremented by 1. I did that. Oh, I see where I messed up. Okay, wait, let's go with the Control S. Okay, do not use AI for learning. Worst practice. Honestly, I mean, I did like actually everything I do know is actually like I did learn everything like from AI because like I did start learning programming I think about 135 days ago. That's it. I did start as a complete beginner because I used to learn Python and everything. Okay, that's it. I think AI was like a pretty good source. I mean, honestly, everybody do have like their different preferences. Like few people they enjoy learning with AI, few like don't. Okay, that's it. I'll go with something like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there we go. So these are my original numbers. That is 8, 3, 6, 5, 4, 7, 2. 8, 6, 4, 2. Okay, actually, I think this is pretty much... Okay, I think it actually works. Let's go ahead and copy that. Get some c/chatgpt here. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift-Enter and say something like... So let's say it's finally works, ... That said, okay, it finally works. Okay, ... That said, I honestly don't take credit for this question because I did get a lot of help. That said, can I get another question mark? Okay, let's see. Okay, but searching in Stack Overflow for help with your code isn't the same. Oh, to ask for AI? Honestly, that does make sense. Okay, that's what I like to hear, people. You fought through it and got the logic. Now let's test if you're really locking this sort magic in. Here's your next instructional challenge, one at a time. Question: you have a list of numbers. Okay, you need to sort all lists. Okay, instead let's say something like, let's say, can I get a question that includes arrays? It's been a while since I did arrays. Okay, what is this live about? Honestly, I am trying to master the algorithms this library in C++. That said, absolutely people, it's time to make those arrays work for you. Here's the next challenge. You have an array of 10 integers. Okay, your task, find the largest number in the array, the smallest number in the array, swap their positions. Okay, you cannot use standard sort. You need to find the largest and okay, let's say I mean a array question that also includes the sort function from the algo library. Okay guys, I should actually fix my typos. Okay bro, I think for what are you doing now is better to use lead code. Honestly, I was pretty excited for lead code. That said, I am actually saving that for like a separate playlist because I will be creating a separate series where I only grind lead code. That's let me hydrate my lips. Okay, let's see. Okay, now I get it. Now I get you people. You want arrays and the power of standard sort. Let's make things interesting. Start plus sort challenge. You have an array of 10 integers. Your task, input 10 numbers from the user into plain array. Sort the array in ascending order using sort from algorithms. Print the sorted array, then sort the array in descending order. Excuse me guys. Using sort with a custom comparator, as I pronounce it. Print the descending order array, input okay. Yeah, I think this should be pretty easy. Let's get sensei/ChatGPT here. Okay, our code forces lead code agreed. Honestly, I am pretty excited for using lead code. It's like I've been getting that recommendation ever since I started my Python for 100-day series, which was like 130 days ago. That said, let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream, and then let's go ahead and include, I don't know, maybe the algorithms. So I'll go ahead and include algorithm. Okay, honestly, I won't need vectors because I am going to be using arrays. So I'll go ahead and create a main function and then add a pair of parentheses. Okay, next up, let's read the instructions. So it says you have an array of 10 integers. Let me just get this here and keep it here. Okay, so it says you have an array of 10 integers and then, okay, 10 input 10 numbers from the user into a plain array. Okay, so let's go ahead and create an array. So I'll go with something like a integer of nums as array with a pair of square brackets ending with a semicolon. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's how we create an array. Maybe I go with something like 10. Okay, my array consists of 10 integers. And then let's go ahead and create a count variable. So I'll go with count equals to 10 as well, ending with a semicolon. And then I'll add a while loop. Let's go with integer of count. There we go. I think I'll call it a day. See ya tomorrow. Honestly, I appreciate you sticking through the stream, man. I'll catch you next stream. Bro, it's not Sigma. Sigma uses Java. Honestly, guys, I was really excited to use Java. I'm actually gonna like make a stream where I do use Java. Okay, that's it. I'll go with something like while my count variable is greater than 0, I'll do something. I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then let's see. Let's go ahead and create a variable of numbers. So I'll go with integer number, ending with a semicolon, and then I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to do something. Let's say I'll do something like enter a number, okay, ending with a semicolon, and then a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my num variable ending with a semicolon. Next up, I gotta append my number inside of my array of nums. Okay, I'm pretty sure the way we do that is we go with our nums as array. Okay, dot the push. Oh wait, we can't use push underscore back. Okay, hold up guys, let me ask one question to Sensei. Okay, okay, let me say something like, let's say dot. So before I do the question, I forgot how to append my user inputs inside my array. Can you tell me that real quick? Honestly guys, it has been like whatchamacallit, I think like about 12 streams since I did work with arrays. I should have worked with it more. Stack Overflow gives you the same answers on easy questions like how sort vector, I do not, and gives you correct and simple answers for at least multiple options. Oh, I see. Bro, type G++ minus S main.cpp. Honestly, I think that I did hear of G++ before. Okay, so for every integer of I, standard console input. Oh, I see. Okay. The entry numbers. So if I want to go with a for loop, so I go with the standard console output entry number I plus 1. Okay. So instead of going with a while loop, let's go with something like a for loop. So I'll go with something like for a parentheses. Let's say for every integer of I which equals to 0. Okay, while my I is, let's say, less than 10. Okay, while my I is less than 10. Actually, okay, yeah, less than 10. I'm going to increment my I by 1. So I'll go with I plus plus. And then I'll go with a pair of curly braces and then add a standard console output with an insertion operator. Okay, I didn't know he has GCC. I believe he's using Code Runner. Okay, VS Code. Honestly, I am using Code Runner to like run my codes. That said, now make it with assembly times 86. Guys, I heard assemblies are like really hard, so I'm really excited to start that soon. Maybe after like, I don't know, maybe like after 2 years, I'm going to be going on assembly, guys. Okay, let's see. Standard console output with an insertion operator. I'll say something like enter a number. So I go with enter number. Okay, enter number. Add a space. I'll go with a new line, another insertion operator, I plus 1 that increases my number by 1 every iteration, with another insertion operator of a colon and then a space. There we go, ending with a semicolon. And then why not using JavaScript? Honestly, because like I do have like a programming for 258 series where my goal by the end of that series is to make a game in general which consists of AI logic in it. And I thought since I was making a game, might as well go with C++ because you guys did say me that is the best language to make games on. Okay, I can't with the actually. Wait, you're actually gonna try assembly? Honestly, yeah, I feel like assembly was pretty fun because like I haven't tried assembly, but like many of you guys did say me that it is pretty hard, so that actually spiked me up. Okay, next up, I'll go with something like my nums is array at index of I, ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Okay, so that asks the user. Assembly is nice to understand how the CPU thinks. Oh, I see. Cheap. Okay, let's go ahead and read the instructions now. Okay, so it says sort the array in ascending order using the sort from the algorithms library. So let's go ahead and iterate over my arrays again. Although before I do iterate over them, I will go with a comment that says sorts array in ascending order. Okay, now let's go ahead and sort my array. So I'll go with something like a standard sort, add a pair of parentheses inside of my standard sorts. Okay, honestly, isn't it like not standard sort? Okay, I could just go with sort. Oh, okay, never mind. I can use standard. Okay, so I'll go with standard sort. I want to sort my nums as array dot begin. Okay, I don't think there is a dot begin here. Okay, could I go with something like nums at index of 1 or nums at index of 0? And then something like nums at index of -1. Okay, that is going to be ascending order. I will be ending that with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and print the sorted array. C++, is that C for Unreal? I don't see the problem. Oh, I see. Harry Potter, some people might have a habit. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is. Great content though. Oh, I see. Now, who said using C++ for a game with AI? Oh, who said using C++ for a game with AI? This is going to be extremely hard for us by now. Honestly, isn't C++ good for like making games with AI? Okay, my god, autocorrect. Of course, C++ great for games, but bro struggles with basics. Honestly, yeah, because I am a beginner. I just started like 30 days ago. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and do something. Okay, I'll go ahead and iterate over my vectors again. So I'll go with something like for, let's say for every integer of I which equals to 0. Okay, while my I is less than, let's say my nums dot size. Can't I get my nums? Okay, let's go with 10 because my array's size is 10. I'm going to increment my I by 1. So I'll go with I plus plus. And then I'll go with a pair of curly braces, C++, not Skibidi. I just use Holy C. Oh, I see. Okay, honestly, C is pretty fun as well. I haven't tried it yet, but I didn't hear a lot about it from you guys. Okay, my operating system is Temple OS. That actually sounds pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to be going with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to print my nums at index of I, which is going to be separated by an empty space ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then sort the array in descending order using standard sort with a custom uh, comparator. Is that how I pronounce it, comparator? Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and add another comment that says something like sort the array in descending order. Okay, now I'm going to be going with something like a standard sort with a pair of parentheses. I want to sort my nums array at index 0 all the way till my nums array at index of -1 with let's say a standard I forgot what was it called, grader. Okay, with a standard grader that has a pair of angle braces of integers. Since my array is does consist of only integers, then a pair of parentheses to invoke my function ending with a semicolon. Okay, how much time does it take to become a master? Honestly, I do think that to like become a master in something, we do need 10,000 hours of practice. That said, I didn't even count like how many hours have I spent, because I think I spent over like 300 hours streaming. Okay, maybe it's like 200 about that time, because I gotta fact check myself. C++, C++ plus CPV plus games equals to good idea. C++ plus games plus AI equals bad idea. Huh, guys, in that case, what should I like? What are languages should I like use to like add AI logic as well? Brother, I write in C++ for 6 years. Writing game with AI is still will be extremely hard for me. I'm already working in a company as CPP dev. Try with Python for this goal. Honestly, is there a way to like mix Python and C++ as code? Because I didn't like whatchamacallit. I do think like I've seen some people do that. Like I think that someone said that to me. Like we could add multiple programming languages and code. Like I don't know, guys. You guys could like fact check me. Okay, I'll go with something like while my I is less than 10, I'm gonna increment it by 1. Although I did like learn Python, so could I like combine my Python and C++ skills, guys? Would that make sense? Okay, bro doesn't realize that Holy See and Temple operating system is meant to be a joke. Guys, I should work on my humor. I feel my sense of humor is awful. Okay, you're disrespecting our god Terry A. Davis. Honestly, I've never heard of Terry A. Davis. Is he like a YouTuber or something? Okay, so I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. I want to insert my nums at index of I with another insertion operator of an empty space ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then print the descending sort. It did that. Okay, that's pretty much it, honestly. Let's go ahead and return 0 ending with a semicolon. If I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I'm sorry, Father, I have sinned. Sinned? Oh my gosh, guys, wait, hold up. I got so many errors. Okay, Terry Davis is the greatest programmer to ever live. That's actually pretty cool. I actually might look into him after the stream. Okay, Terry Davis is a YouTuber I can, bro. Okay, guys, I actually might look into him because like I didn't want to like disrespect anybody. Honestly, I didn't like rip him. Okay, what can I do to be cracked? Huh. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this. Can say something like, let's say, I feel like I messed up, question mark. Okay, yeah, you can combine them. It's tricky. You'll see C++ for game itself plus graphics and Python for AI part. I'm not sure. I'm not machine learning dev, but still something like that. Oh, I see. How much concepts do you understand while writing the code? Honestly, like whatever codes I do, right, I do understand like all the concepts. Although if there is like a new part and I just sometimes write the code without understanding it, it is to like get my fingers used to like writing the code first and then I do understand it. But mostly I don't move to like a new topic before like understanding the previous topic, if that made any sense. Okay, oh people, you made a few classic mistakes here. Let's break it down. Standard sort arguments are wrong. You wrote nums at index of 0 and nums at index of -1. No. Standard sort does not take individual elements. Okay, I thought, nums at index of 0 is the first element and that is the last element. So everything in between. Okay. For arrays, that means nums with nums plus 10. Oh, I see. Okay, so this is how we do it in arrays. Printing numbers. Okay, what we mean is that if you use AI to write code, then it's going to be bad no matter what. If you mean you want to add AI to your game, then it shouldn't be as big of a problem. Yeah, I did want to like add AI to my game. So my goal is to make a game in general that consists of AI logic, not like using AI to make a game. Because like I remember for my Python for 100 days series, when I was actually making my game at the day 100, like it was like a 450 lines of code. When I messed up somewhere in like the previous days before my day 100, AI did make a lot of mistakes, even like ruining my code up. So although it wasn't that big of a deal that time because I did like understand the basics, so I could make it myself. Okay, guys, I feel I'm like way too vague when I talk. Okay, that said, this is basically where I messed up. So for arrays, we go with the nums, that is index 0, nums plus 10, which is the end of my array. Now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I'm learning Java and Spring Boot for backend, but I'm afraid I'm learning it in the wrong way. Oh, I see. Okay, swap A. Okay, I'm getting like a lot of errors. Guys from dev. Okay, let's read the whole, whatchamacallit, let's read everything that Sensei had to say. Okay, let's extend that from there. Okay, people, you made a mistake. You're printing twice, which is fine, but maybe separate with a new line so it's readable. Other small note, nums at index of 1 is invalid. Memory access C++ does not allow negative indexing for arrays. That's our programmers. Okay, didn't I like do this? Chillman AI is here to help. Honestly, that does make sense. To start from code forces / lead code. Honestly, eventually I do want to start lead code. I'm pretty excited for that. Wait, didn't I like just change this? Oh, I didn't change it for this. I gotta change it for both. Okay, so let's go with something like nums plus 10. There we go. Okay, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, this time it's gonna be something different. Enter num1, I'll go with something like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 2, 2. Okay. Oh, okay, perfect. I should add like whatchamacallit. Let's go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator of a standard end line ending with a semicolon for a new line. Okay, let's go ahead and Control S again to save the code. And what do you think about video tutorials bad to use? Honestly, I actually feel like video tutorials or like watching tutorials in general like don't help me that much unless it's like a tutorial for actually installing like compilers and everything. For example, I did watch tutorials to like install VS Code. That said, when I first started my Python series or programming in general, I did watch a few tutorials, but then later on I felt like tutorials are kind of vague, so I went and started learning using ChatGPT/Sensei. Okay, so 987654321. Okay, perfect. Let's go with Control C. I agree with the first and third point, but maybe put lead code on hold for a bit until you're at the level where you're comfy with syntax and logic is the bottleneck or is the bottleneck. Honestly, yeah, that does make sense. I should actually like whatchamacallit get used to syntaxes. I did have like I think 5 or 6 streams where I was just working with like syntaxes. That's it. There are like different libraries. I do want to get used to those libraries as well. Okay, can you give us tutorials how actually you learn and implement it? Honestly, I feel like in all my lives, like whatchamacallit, all my lives are like the tutorials basically, cause like many of you guys did say like you guys do like code with me, cause like I do have like questions that I do it online, and like if something is wrong, I do fix those questions. Although I will like actually make tutorials as well, but I am waiting for like being well good with the concept, because I did like make a few Python tutorials. That's it, guys. I do have college and I don't have much time to make Python tutorials. I see a lot of programmers saying it's bad to see tutorials. Honestly, I do like actually feel that as well. That said, people, you didn't fix the core issue. I can almost hear the scream of your arrays crying. Okay, so standard sort is wrong again. Did I copy the code, guys? I think I forgot to copy the code because I did fix that. Let's go with the Control C. There we go. Hey guys, I feel like I forgot to copy the code. Okay, now let's go all the way up and edit that. Paste that. Okay, I'll go with the Control-A, Control-V. Okay, let's send this. Okay, now we're talking, people. This is perfect. You fixed the standard sort argument. You separated the ascending and descending outputs with a new line, no invalid index. When you run this, you'll see your 10 numbers first sorted ascending, then sorted descending. You're getting stronger with each step. If you want, I can give you a more challenging array plus sort problem next. Do something that will really make you think about the logic and the algorithm library together. Do you want me to do that? Honestly, let's say something like, honestly, let's say, I feel like I understand the sort function and now What other functions were left? Question mark. Okay, I think I forgot the other function that were left. Okay, I'll tell you. You build, and when you, okay, and when you'll figure out stuff on the, figure out in the middle. I have learned more from a weekends long project than a month long course. Oh, okay, actually that does make sense. By like actually working on mini project, we actually do understand more than like just understanding it in theory. That does make sense. Okay, listen up, pupils. Since we crossed start function, here's a roadmap for the algorithm library. Okay, stuff that you haven't fully explored yet, but it's super useful for arrays and vectors. Okay, reverse begin and okay flips the order of elements, max underscore element. Okay, and then end defines the largest and smallest element, accumulate, begin, and initial value from numeric sums elements, or performs the reductions, count begin end value, counts how many times value appears, find that finds, copy. Okay, honestly, before going with all those, I do want to learn the reverse first. Let's go ahead and paste that and say shift enter and say can we do the first topic now? Question mark. Okay, say ChatGPT to act like David Goggins. Guys, actually, I am a really big fan of David Goggins. I used to watch him a lot. That said, I agree the code. I agree that lead code might be hard in the beginning. I used old as me book with tasks, but I can't find online alternatives, or I just forget them. Oh, I see. Okay, we all learn in different ways. I guess that actually does make sense. Okay, yeah, hell yes, people. Let's turn things upside down literally. The reverse function in C++ flips the order of elements in any array of vectors. Syntax, we include algorithm for reverse container.begin. Okay, container.begin. So I'm assuming we have like a container as a vector, and then container.end for the vector, and then reverse array plus size for arrays. Okay. Key points, it doesn't return anything. It modifies the container in places, works on any container that has iterators like arrays, vectors, or strings. So we include IO stream, we include vectors, we include algorithm. Okay, we go with reverse, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then static arrays. So for arrays, it's 50, 40, 30, 20. I can already see your eyebrows raising, people. Now let's test you with an instructional based question. So ask the user for 6 numbers, store them in a vector, reverse the vector using the reverse function, print the reverse vector. Okay, so how do you build projects by yourself? I cannot without external help. Honestly, I actually feel like the way I did it in Python was I just, I just got like small ideas, went over like little projects, and then started adding more concepts to it. Like first I learned on how to automate an object, like move an object around. Honestly, if I like go from the very beginning, after learning the Python basics, I did like learn how to like import images in Python, like create a display. After creating a display, I learned on how to like load PNGs inside by the pygame.image.load. That like loads my whole image and everything. And then I did like load images and then like learn different formulas on how to automate the image, move the image from left to right, and then how to loop the image once the image exits my window, spawning the image back in my window. And after I did that, let's see, I did learn on how to add multiple images and then add gravities, add collision logic. I went all step by step, musics and all that stuff. That's it. I do have like a whole stream on that. Okay, you failed. That's how you learn. That's actually so correct. Okay, find something you want to build when you hit a wall. Look it up on Google or even with ChatGPT on how to do X. Then keep going. Then hit a new wall. Search again, over and over again. Honestly, yeah, that's actually what I usually do. That's actually a pretty legit. A legit recommendation, or like guys, I can't phrase. Most of your programming knowledge comes from breaking stuff, then learning how to fix it. That actually makes so much sense. But as soon as you learn syntaxes and learn how to think as a programmer, I mean, health in the head, all indexes, arithmetic, edge cases, UB. If we talk about C++ and so on, you can move on to some projects. Okay, the conclusion that I had is try to build a simple project alone, break it into small tasks, try to do it. If you don't know how to do it, ask for help, keep going till you're done. That actually is some actually good advice, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by including a pair of anchor braces. I want to include IO stream. Next up, let's go ahead and include vectors as well, because I do want to work with vectors. Lastly, let's go ahead and include algorithms. include a pair of anchor braces, algorithm. There we go. Okay, and then for my algorithm, let's see. Okay, so it says ask the user for 6 numbers. So let's go ahead and create a main function, add a pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces. Inside of my main function, it says ask the user for 6 numbers and store them in a vector. So let's go ahead and create a standard vector for my numbers. So I'll go with standard vector with a pair of anchor braces. My vector is going to only be consisting of integers, and my vector is going to be called nums. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and add a count variable because I will be asking user for like 6 numbers using a while loop. Maybe I ask the user using a for loop because like I feel both are the same things. So I'll go with something like for a pair of parentheses. Let's say for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than my nums vector dot the size function, I'm going to do something. I'm going to increment my I by 1 and then go with a pair of curly braces. Now let's go ahead and see. Honestly, instead of going with nums.size, I could go with something like 6. Okay, next up, I'm gonna go ahead and create a variable called num to like store my users' input. Okay, next up, I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. Okay, let me change the comma to like a semicolon. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna say something like enter a number. Okay, ending with a semicolon, and then add a standard console input with an extraction operator. This is going to extract my num variable. Once I do extract my num variable, I want to append that inside of my nums is inside of my nums is vector. So I'll go with something like my nums is vector dot the push underscore back function. I want to push back, let's say, my num variable ending with a semicolon. This is so hard to listen to. Honestly, I should actually talk a little slow. Oh, you gotta go. It's 2 a.m. here for me. Bye. Honestly, I appreciate you sticking through the stream, Ankit. I'll catch you next stream. Okay, that said, maybe I drink some water because I feel like I'm kind of dehydrated. Okay, my first pros were sort visualizer, learning how to work with threads, little object-oriented programming, little graphics. Okay, little about graphics. Code was shit, but it doesn't matter. Then chess and C, learning how parts work. And again, graphic, that actually sounds pretty fun. Okay, syntax used in projects are far from different than what teachers teach us during fundamental/basics. That actually makes so much sense. Okay, let's see, because like even in college, like my teachers actually don't like go over everything. I gotta like study every single day, like every single hour at home. Okay, that said, let's read the next instructions. I did append everything inside of my vector and then reverse the vector using the reverse function. PDR for pointer. Okay, do you know anything about VoIP systems? Honestly, I've never heard of that, but that actually sounds pretty fun. I should actually look into that. I do want to go over like so many different topics. That said, I am like going like from the very basics because I do have like a roadmap and like I'm like following that roadmap. And then eventually I will be adding like more stuff and everything. Okay, let's go with something like nums.reverse. I want to reverse my nums.begin, my first ever num, all the way to my nums.end, my last num. Okay, so I reverse everything. Okay, I think I spelled reverse correct. Excuse me guys, I'm watching this because I was studying all day and and I want not to think about shit. Now, honestly, yeah, that does make sense, guys. Like, I do feel the exhaustion in the brains after like studying for a long time. Okay, I watch it because I don't want to do my web homework because I hate JavaScript. Okay, let's see. Is this how we go with nums? Okay, so I go with reverse. That is for my indexes. Okay, nums.begin, nums.end. Ending with a semicolon. Honestly, I don't think I should go with nums.reverse. Let's just go with reverse. There we go. Okay, perfect. Let's read the next instructions. So it says print the reverse vector. So let's go ahead and iterate over my vector. If you don't know what that is, how can Katie sound fun, lol? Okay, use Perplexity for coding. They're Claude 4.0 AI better than ChatGPT. Honestly, yeah, there are like so many AIs that are actually better than ChatGPT. Although, guys, I do feel I have like a deep connection with Sensei/ChatGPT. Because honestly, I have been using ChatGPT ever since I even started my programming series for like my exams and everything to like learn stuff. It has like always helped me, so I feel like I'm pretty used to ChatGPT and like how to like give prompts and everything. That said, guys, I feel there's a deep connection. Okay, get AI to write your JavaScript then, I guess. Okay, while my I is less than my nums is vector dot the size function, I'm gonna increment my I by 1. So I'll go with something like I plus plus. Then let's go ahead and add a pair of curly braces. Guys, I keep adding a comma instead of a semicolon. Okay, that's it. I'll go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. This says something like my nums. Okay, my nums at index of I want to display that. Okay, separated with a space, ending with a semicolon. Lastly, let's go ahead and return 0, ending with a semicolon. How long have you been programming? Honestly, ever since I think I started programming like 134 days ago, because like when I started my programming for 100-day series, it is like in my channel, like I have like a playlist. My playlist is called Python for 100 days. When the first video uploaded that, I started programming 7 days before that, because that one video consisted of 7 days of me studying. Okay, now I bought my homework from Freelancer. I don't even want a copy paste from AI. Oh, I see. I made a 2D game only by DeepSeek with C. That actually sounds pretty fun. Okay, let's see. So enter a number. I'll go with something like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, perfect. Let's go with the controller. Control C. Okay, let's get Sensei slash ChatGPT here. Ta-ta-ta. Okay, then let's go ahead and paste this. Okay, I think that was pretty. Okay, I think the reverse function was pretty easy. Okay, next up, that's what I'm talking about, people. You took that vector and flipped it like a master. Every number is now looking at the world backwards, and you did it cleanly. No errors, no extra drama, just perfect reversal. Let's take it up a notch. Next question: ask the user for 8 numbers and store them in an array this time. Okay, reverse only 5 elements using the reverse function. Print the whole array after reversing. Okay, so this time we work with. This time I gotta use arrays. Okay, yeah, I'm 6'7". Honestly, guys, I'm actually just 5'6". I should actually grow my height. Just making your integer variable receive a Guamar type. Is that how you pronounce it? It's like, okay, let's see. Let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream, and then let's go ahead and include algorithm. I won't be including vectors because I'm not gonna be using vectors. There we go, algorithm. Okay, guys, let me actually try talking a little slow because like many of you guys do say me that I talk like really quick. Okay, so I'll go with integer main, add a pair of parentheses. Inside of my pair of parentheses, let's read the instructions. So ask a user for 8 numbers and store them in an array. So let's go ahead and create an array of nums, okay, which consists of 8 numbers ending with a semicolon. Okay, that's not how you say Guamar or Quad. Guys, I'm so awful at pronunciation. Can you do palindrome number? Honestly, in my like recursion video, I did work with palindromes. That's it. I actually already forgot what a palindrome is. I do know the concept if I like actually understand what it means like. Okay, let's see. Let's go with something like a for loop. So for a pair of parentheses, let's say for every integer of I which equals to, let's say, 0, while my I is less than 8, which is my vector's size, I'm going to increment my I by 1, so I plus plus, and then I'll go with a pair of curly braces, and then inside of my for loop, let's do something. Oh, okay, yeah, basically, yeah, palindrome is something like numbers that are like numbers or words that are like pronounced the same backwards or forwards. For example, let's see, like CUC is pronounced the same if it's spelled backwards, if that made any sense, guys. I don't have any palindrome numbers, honestly. If you drop the fake accent, you'll get more subs. Honestly, guys, many of you guys do say me that I do like fake my accent, although I do say you guys like it's almost impossible to fake accent while actually talking for hours plus reading the comments and also like studying stuff, because like, okay, let's see, speak Polish and you get more subs. Guys, this is the only thing that I do know how to speak. Okay, didn't can handle Kuameyer and Herbert. Okay, so I'll go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. Let's say something like enter a number, okay, ending with a semicolon, and then I'll go with a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my nums at index of I, ending with a semicolon. Okay, so next up, I asked the user for 8 numbers, reverse only the first 5 elements using reverse. Okay, print the whole array, so I gotta reverse only the first 5 elements. So let's go with another for loop, so I'll go with for, a pair of parentheses. Okay, I'll go with something like, guys, I'm ready some coffee. That is kind of strong. Okay, what if the input is a string? Does the program blow up? Honestly, guys, I should actually go with strings too. Like, I've been working with integer much. I actually might ask Sensei for strings next. Okay, so for every integer of I which equals to 0, okay, while my I is less than 5, because I just got to reverse 5 strings, or like 5 items from inside of my, honestly, I might not need a for loop for that. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and reverse. So I'll go with the reverse function. I want to reverse my array of nums, okay, comma, nums plus 5. So that reverses the first 5 elements of my array, ending with a semicolon. Did I like mess up somewhere? Okay, program A, game in the terminal. Huh. Okay, so reverse only the first 5 strings of my array. So, okay, nums.begin, nums.end. Reverse reverses. Well, correct. What happens if I go with plus 8? Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, didn't, can't, okay, let's see. Honestly, am I messing up somewhere? Reverse only the first 5 elements using reverse. That's the first element plus 5. Okay, let's think. Did I need something else to reverse? Okay, maybe I'll look at the old code that I wrote. Okay, I feel like this is correct. My nums equals to then nums plus 5, reverse. Okay, let me see really carefully. Am I messing up somewhere? When I go with that, I do add a comma. Oh. Okay, so reverse nums plus 5. Guys, am I like actually messing up somewhere? I feel it's correct. Did I? Okay, I did include algorithm. Okay, use loop to reverse. Just make the function yourself. Honestly, I can like use a loop to reverse my my numbers. Although I do want to do it using the reverse function. Okay, why for loop? This for loop is to ask the user for numbers. Okay, reverse only the first 5 elements. Reverse. I think it's correct. Standard reverse. Let me try standard. There we go. Okay, that works. Okay, no wonder. Okay, I do need to prefix everything with a standard. Okay, that makes sense. I appreciate you. Kurkil, is that Kurlil? Is that how you pronounce your name? There we go. 2 arguments is the end position of where to reverse. Google STD. Honestly, STD does stand for like standard. That's like these when we like standard stuff, if that made any sense. Okay, next up, I'll go with a for loop. So for a pair of parentheses, for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than, let's say 8, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna increment my I by 1, then go with a pair of curly braces and add a standard console output with an insertion operator. ChatGPT kid, bro. Guys, honestly, actually, I didn't even know like my reverse does need to be prefixed with a standard. Did I prefix it with a standard like last code? Let's see. Honestly, I see, guys, if I get Sensei slash ChatGPT here, I honestly didn't reverse it last time with a standard. Like, this was my old code. I didn't like need a standard, so I was like, I don't think I need a standard. I think you should read the exception. I see. Yeah, because like here I didn't need standard, even though I didn't include I didn't like using namespace std, so I thought we wouldn't need standards. Apparently we do. Okay, so let's go with something like nums at index of I with an insertion operator of, let's say, an empty space ending with a semicolon. Lastly, let's go ahead and return 0. Okay, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, okay, let's see what happens. Enter a num. I'll go with something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 6, 7, 8. Okay, perfect. Let's go with the control C, get Sensei slash ChatGPT here, and then maybe extend that. Okay, now let me go all the way down, paste this. Okay, go with Shift Enter and say something like Sensei. It works, although last code I didn't need to prefix my reverse with a std. Why was it necessary? This code question mark. Okay, let me honestly drink some coffee. I'm kind of dehydrated. Guys, it's actually kind of bitter. Okay, that said, I see where your brain is flickering, pupil. Okay, here's the deal. When you did reverse nums.begin, nums.end with a vector, you didn't need standard because you had using namespace std somewhere. Or if your code just happened to compile it in an environment that already knew reverse vectors have begin and end as a member functions. Okay, so sometimes the compiler can figure it out. Here's with your array. Reverse is a function in the algorithms library, so the full namespace, so the full name is standard reverse array don't have begin and end as a member function. You need to tell the compiler exactly where the function lives. That's why std was necessary. Oh, I see. Okay, your code is perfect. Okay, if you want, I can give you a slightly twisted reverse challenge next time to make your brain melt a bit more. Honestly, I see what this means. Okay, bro, namespace is like namespace std is like instrument for C++ for defining different functions classes with the same name. You can like have std sort or boost sort, for example. I see. So if you write using namespace std, you won't need std. Honestly, yeah, that does make sense. Although the reason I don't use namespace std is like many of you guys did say me, eventually in bigger projects, not prefixing with std can cause name conflict. So like to avoid that, it is a good practice not like using namespace std. Okay, let's say something like, let's say I feel like I understand the reverse function. What was the next function that I needed to learn? Question mark. Okay, I think in your previous code you had mentioned namespace std. Honestly, I didn't. Like, this was my previous code. Like, I just included IO stream and everything. Let me actually copy this. Okay, let's go ahead and copy my whole code and get it here. Let's go to the control and paste it. Why does it all paste in one line? Okay, I think I don't pay. Actually, what if I just go with like a bunch of spaces? Can it like show my previous code maybe? There we go. Okay, so this was my previous code. So like I didn't have using namespace std, although whatchamacallit, my reverse did work. He did. I didn't have namespace std, guys. Like I didn't like use it anywhere. Like see, this is my previous code. Like I could use my reverse here, and like if I control S to save the code and run the command, it like works perfectly. I'll go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it goes with 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, what are you doing? Honestly, I'm learning the basics of C++, and today's topic is the algorithm library in C++. That's it, guys. I didn't have like namespace std anywhere. Okay, let's get Sensei slash ChatGPT here. Okay, now let's see. Okay, our people, now that you've mastered reverse, the next monster in our list is the max element and min element. These are parts of the algorithm to define the largest or smallest element. Okay, bro, press control and left click on begin, please. Control and left click on begin. Okay, let's see. So this is my begin. Okay, go with control. Oh, hold up, guys. That's actually pretty useful. I actually might try that. Okay, let's see. No, in which only reverse function worked on its own, bro. Try to rewrite this code without any help to see if you learn it. Honestly, I could like actually write it. So, should I write it with vectors or like arrays? I could like delete this whole thing because like I feel like I got how it works. That said, let me go ahead and include a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream, rewrite it from scratch. Okay, guys, should I rewrite the vector one from scratch or the array version from scratch? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and include, let's say, my algorithm. There we go. Okay, guys, vectors are array, vectors are array. Maybe I could go with vectors. No. Not this left click, bro. Mouse 1 means mouse left click. Mouse left click right here. Oh, I see a bunch of options like run code, define, Okay, let's go ahead and do vectors. So I'll go ahead and include a pair of anchor braces. So let's include vector as well because I will be using containers. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and create a main function. So I'll go with integer main, add a pair of parentheses. Inside of my main function, I will be creating a vector of numbers. Okay, have you tried writing in assembly yet? Honestly, I haven't started assembly yet. That's it. I was pretty excited to eventually start it soon. Okay, that said, I'll go with something like standard vector, which is only going to be consisting of nums. Actually, which is only going to be consisting of integers. It is going to be called nums, ending with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and add a for loop to ask the user to insert a number, I don't know, maybe 8 times. I'll go with for, let's say, honestly, I could like go with, okay, so for every integer of I, control left, okay, control plus left mouse click on vector. Okay, so copy that, control left. So I get one code, go to definition, go to declaration, go to type definition, go to references, peak. Did I hit control? Let me try control again. Control. Okay, it does have the same thing. Is it this control? I think I get the same thing. Okay, for every integer of I which equals to 0 while my I is less than, let's say my nums actually less than 8. I'm going to increment my I by 1 and then I'll go with the pair of curly braces. Hey, why not use namespace std to avoid doing std every time? Honestly, the reason I don't use using namespace std is because some of you guys did say me that eventually in bigger projects, if we don't prefix with std, that could cause like name conflicts, so it is a pretty good practice not using that. F12. Okay, go to definition. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh my gosh. What up, guys? Okay, that's a huge code. Should I like actually... Oh. Is this whole thing like just for my vector function? Okay, he got you, Cruel. You're pressing right click, I'm done. Wait, oh. Left click control. Wait, I am pressing like... Oh, I see. Okay. So basically, I got it control and then I got it. Okay, never mind, guys. I actually thought like I had to go to right. Okay, I can hit control and now it like lets me click the button. Okay, press control and then left click above word, press F12, implementation of vector. That's real C++ code XD. That's all for vector. Okay, this code actually seems like massive. Like, do you guys actually write code like this? Guys, maybe someday I'll get to write this code as well. Okay, that's actually huge. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and add something like enter a number. Okay, now try to code the vector yourself. Guys, I feel like I'm going to get overwhelmed within seconds of coding that. I couldn't even see that code for too long. Okay, so I'll go with a console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my num variable ending with a semicolon. I will be creating a num variable here. Okay, perfect. Next up, let's go ahead and reverse my vector. So I'll go with something like reverse. There we go, reverse, a pair of parentheses. I want to reverse my nums.begin, a pair of parentheses, and then nums.end. Okay, ending with a semicolon. Guys, I mean, you guys see, like, I don't need, like, standard here for some reason. Like, I didn't even include using namespace std. Just write with assembly. You should write code without any libraries. Honestly, I thought, like, libraries are what actually makes the code pretty good. I could try without them as well. How do they write this amount of code? Guys, I feel like, I think it, like, spends a lot of time. Okay, can you, so you can go to definition in big multiple file projects or just to read what some function methods. Oh, do.im stib, I see. Devs use it very much. Years and years of effort and a lot of people. Guys, I think someday in the future I shall write that kind of code. Tycho should prefix is good standard because it is a good practice. Okay, next up, let me go ahead and iterate over my vectors. So let's go with for every integer of I which equals to 0. While my I is less than my nums.size, I'm gonna increment my I by 1, so I++. Okay, I forgot to append it, so I'll go with something like nums dot push underscore back. I want to push my num variable. There we go. Now my nums are inside of my vector, so my vector is full. Okay, now we'll just go with the standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like nums at index of I with another insertion operator of an empty space ending with a semicolon. Lastly, let's go ahead and return 0. If audit control has to save the code and run the command, it's gonna ask me for entering a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, guys, I do understand the topic now. Okay, let's go ahead and read the new question. Okay, alright people, now that you mastered reverse, the next monster in our list is max underscore elements and min underscore elements. These are parts of the algorithm too. They find the largest or smallest element in a range. Max underscore element. Okay, try. Okay, gives an iterator pointing to the max value. Min underscore element begin end gives an iterator pointing to the minimum value. Warning, they do not return the value directly. They return a pointer slash iterator. So you often need to do asterisk max. Okay, so they give a pointer. So I gotta add the dereferencing operator to get the actual number. Example in words, make a vector array, fill it with numbers, and then use max element to find the largest number printed. If you want, I can give you a hands-on question right now where you find the largest number and the smallest number using this. It'll be simple, but solidify your understanding. Okay, let's say something like your sensei. Bro just punches cards, you're noob. Honestly, guys, actually, I do need to practice more. Now, they used ChatGPT to write code back then, did they? Okay, that's how they wrote that code. Oh, I see. Okay, alright people, let's test your brain muscles. Instructional question, create an array of 10 integers and take input from users. Okay, use max underscore element to find the largest number and print it. Then use min underscore element to find the smallest number and print it. Bonus, print both positions as indices, okay, of the largest and smallest in the array. Don't cheat by looking up the code. Think through the iterators carefully. I want to see your code, pupils. Start writing. Okay, let's get sensei slash ChatGPT here. Okay, but people are not ready to talk about it. For every integer of num in our numbers, honestly, I used to go with that kind of loop before. I think that's called like a reference based for loop. I think I forgot what was that called. Okay, let me drink some water. They discovered fire using ChatGPT. Okay, guys, I feel the coffee is kind of bitter, but it's actually pretty good. I feel like I'm getting addicted to coffees. Okay, that said, let me get sensei there. Okay, and let's start off by including a pair of ankle braces. These cells learned how to duplicate. My bad, guys. These cells learned how to duplicate using ChatGPT. So new. Guys, that's actually kind of funny. Okay, that actually got me kind of off guard. Okay, next up, let's see. Okay, so I include vectors. Next up, let's go ahead and include vectors. So I include IO stream and then I include vectors. Honestly, Sensei did send me to create an array, not a vector, so I might not create an array. I might not create a vector. Instead, I'll just go ahead and include algorithm. Okay, there we go. Okay, next up, I'm going to be creating a main function. So I'll go with integer main, add a pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces. Inside of my main function, I got to create an array of 10 integers and take input from the users. Create an array of 10 integers and take input for the user. What if you don't include vector? If I don't include vector, then I won't be able to use vectors. For example, I usually create something like a standard vector. Okay, with a pair of ankle braces. Let's say my vector only consists of integers and it is called nums. Excuse me, guys. This basically creates a container of vectors. Although if I don't go with hashtag include a pair of ankle braces vector, I won't be able to have access to this. Although if I do include my vector, then I can get access to that. Honestly, I won't be creating a vector for this question because I am using an array. So let's go ahead and create an integer of array, which is going to be called nums, and it's going to be consisting of 10 integers. Okay, ending with a semicolon. Okay, next up, use max elements to find the largest number and print it. Okay, before that, let's go ahead and add a for loop to add a few numbers inside of my vector. So I'll go with for every integer of I which equals to 0, I'll go with something like while my I is less than, let's say 10, that is my vectors of size, I'm going to increment my I by 1. Where do you code? Honestly, I do code in VS Code. That said, let's go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator. I'm going to say something like enter a number. My user is going to be entering a number ending with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and add a standard console input with an extraction operator. I want to extract my num variable ending with a semicolon. Honestly, let me go ahead and create a num variable as well. There we go. Okay, is it good? Honestly, actually, VS Code is really good. I should have used for Python as well. Honestly, I mean, I feel like PyCharm was pretty good as well, but that only when it comes to like Python. That said, I do prefer both the IDEs. I use Vim, by the way. Guys, I've actually heard of Vim. I should like try it. Do you also use Arc? Honestly, I haven't tried Arc yet. That said, many of you guys did like recommend me to use that. I might actually have a separate stream where I just use Arc. Okay, hold up, guys. I'll go with nums at index of I. I got distracted for a bit. I also use Arc, by the way. Guys, I feel like Arc does sound pretty cool. Like I feel like it sounds pretty cool if I say people I use Arc, then I use VS Code. Okay, let me drink some coffee. Okay, next up, I got the my integers for my array. Next up, I gotta use the max element to find the largest element and print it. I'm assuming the way I print it is by iterating over my vector, over my arrays. So for every integer of I which equals to 0, while my I is less than my, let's go with 10, my array's size, I'm going to increment it by 1. So I'll go with I plus plus. Okay, and then I'll go with the pair of curly braces. When is the cat year stream coming? The cat year stream, guys, what you mean? Okay, that's it. Honestly, I do love cats, so I do want to adopt a cat soon. When I do adopt him, like, that's gonna be, guys. I feel like I like cats way too much. Okay, next up, I'll go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. That's gonna say something like the max number, the largest number is. Okay, the largest number is. I'll go in a new line, add another insertion operator. Using Arc means you become a cat boy. Rules and rules, guys. I thought Arc is like an IDE. I'll just give you. Okay, I'll just give you a like if you use cat ear headphones. Guys, I feel like that's using cat ear headphones is kind of crazy though. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and do something. I'll go with my nums as vector at index of I. Okay, that's it. I'll go with another insertion operator with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, the largest number. Instead of going with numbers at index of I just here, I could honestly go with my max number. Guys, how do I delete that? There we go. Okay, I'll go with. Okay, let's delete it. I'll go with something like max underscore number. Is it called max? Oh, it's called max elements. So I'll go with max elements. Huh. Max underscore elements. Okay, add a pair of parentheses. Is that correct? Okay, but there's only one largest number while loop. There's only one largest number. Honestly, don't we use a loop to iterate over every single number and check if the number is the largest? Instead, could I like get that outside my loop if I go with something like max elements? Does it work like this? Okay, we demand a catch your stream, guys. Catch your stream is crazy. Okay, maybe I gotta add a standard. Okay, let's just print one number after sorting. Just print one number after sorting. Okay, in that case, let's go ahead and delete that and just add a standard console output with an insertion operator. This is gonna be standard max. Okay, max underscore elements. There we go. So we need to add a standard. There we go. With a pair of parentheses. Okay, I want to print the max element inside of my nums vector. Okay. Okay, bro, will GPT standard once again. Okay, it's okay, so I go with standard max elements, my nums. Maybe, does this actually get the largest number inside of my array? What happens if I end it with a semicolon? No S, max element. There we go. Okay, standard is wrong here, so I wouldn't need standard. Okay, now max element is wrong, so I'll go with standard. How did they write first compiler? That is a pretty good question. With assembly and chat GPT. I'm actually kind of confused with Sensei slash chat GPT even know much about assembly. Guys, I think Sensei slash chat GPT might. Standard max. I do need a console output if I want to display it in my console. Isn't this how we added? Let's go all the way up. Did Sensei at least show like a reference code? Okay, it's not even assembly, raw machine code. Is raw machine code like binary, like zeros and ones? I've heard of that. Use max underscore element to find the largest number. Okay, maybe I go with a bunch of control Z's. Now I go with something like max element. This is going to be my nums. Okay, let's add a standard. Already mic testing. Guys, my OBS actually crashed. That's it, I think it's pretty good. Okay, but just make a method called max element and check if the first element in the array is larger than the second element. Honestly, I could do that, but then I actually wanted to, use the max elements as function as well. You have 1 and 0 with flip switches. Some guy had to talk like a computer. Is it like, what does that mean? Like they were just talking like 1 and 0s? Okay, let's go with the control C, copy that, get Sensei slash chat GPT here. I do want to ask the question. Let's go ahead and paste that, go with shift enter. Say something like, Sensei, I actually forgot to ask you, how do I even use the max underscore elements in my code question mark? Okay, you can go to the definition to understand why she doesn't work. Oh, I could actually do that. I actually might do that after this, but bro will use ChatGPT, of course. Guys, give it a sec. I actually use ChatGPT because I feel that is actually pretty easier. That said, let me try going to the definition as well. Okay, let's cancel that, copy that, go to definition. Okay, max elements forward first concepts. Guys, how do I understand this? Okay, return the maximum element. Okay, I do know how it does. So, guys, I think that's stop with GPT. Bro, guys, actually I understand just using ChatGPT. Although once I do get the concepts, I do like work on codes on my own too. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's get this all the way up. It seems to return a pointer. Honestly, I did have to use the dereferencing operator for the pointer, but I don't think I can like add a dereferencing operator here. Something like that. Maybe I go ahead and delete that whole thing. Would that work? Okay, that doesn't work either. Okay, guys, let me just read the instructions. I like to see what Sensei has to say. Okay, listen carefully, people, because you're making this harder than it needs to be. Max elements does not take the whole array as a single argument. It takes two iterators. Okay, the beginning and one past the end. Okay, although I did go with vectors. Wait, I went with Oh, I went with arrays. Okay, hold up. Maybe I should go with something like nums plus 10, and then add a standard here. There we go. Okay, C needs start and end. Oh, I see. Okay, there we go. That actually does make sense. Okay, let's see. Honestly, since that was the only mistake that it did need start and end, does it like say what all it needs? Like when I type my my vector here, so I'll go with something like a standard max underscore elements. Okay, so inside this, if I add a pair of parentheses, okay, it does say I need like a first and last. Using namespace std. Honestly, the reason I don't use using namespace std is because many of you guys did say me it is like a bad practice to use it, because eventually in like bigger projects, using namespace std and not prefixing with standard can cause name conflicts. Okay, go one day on stream without using ChatGPT. That actually sounds pretty cool as well. I might try it. Okay, bro will be flabbergasted with 0x right now. Honestly, I feel like that is the memory address. I did learn about memory addresses. That said, guys, I think I just need to add a dereferencing operator for that of an asterisk. Okay, that said, let's read the next instruction. Okay, gives an pointer to the maximum value. Okay, and then one for the minimum element. So I'll go with min element, which gives an pointer to the minimum value. So that is for my maximum value. Let's go ahead and add one for minimum as well. I'll go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator. Let's say something like the smallest number is... Okay, the smallest number is... I'm going to end that with a semicolon. Actually, I'll go in a new line. Okay, go with another insertion operator of something like a standard min underscore element. Okay, add a pair of parentheses, num plus 10. Okay, nums plus 10. There we go. This is going to be my nums array. Okay, if VS Code has it, try to make it work without any GPD and read the exceptions and use the debugger. Honestly, I haven't tried using the debugger yet. Many of you guys did recommend me that. I always tell you guys that after the stream I might actually look into that, but I actually don't have any time because after my stream I just start learning my college stuff because I do have exams very often. I want you to build a gambling website. How much money would you take for that? Honestly, guys, I don't think I'm that advanced to build a gambling website or a website in general because I haven't learned Java yet. If I'm not wrong, I think that Java is actually used to build the website, the way they look. For example, when I click the start button, something starts and all that stuff. If that made any sense, guys. Okay, largest element, smallest element. I do want to go with my original elements. So let's go with a standard console output with an insertion operator. That is going to say something like original array. Okay, I'll go in a new line, add another insertion operator. This is going to say something like my nums is array at index of I with another insertion operator of a / new line ending with a semicolon. And then a standard console output with an insertion operator of a standard end line. Okay, debugging is crazy. You can see what's really happening. Oh, I do want to see. I actually want to try using. Honestly, after the stream, I actually might look into debugger because I say that every single stream. The thing is, I don't have enough time because after the stream, I just move on and study my stuff because I've been memorizing all my college stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and return 0, ending with a semicolon. JavaScript is for websites. JavaScript is for websites. Java, despite this similar name, has nothing to do, not even close to JavaScript. I see. Move into the min and max console output of the loop. Okay, move the min and max out of the loop. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and copy my min and max. Go ahead and paste that right here. Maybe go with something like a shift tab to the indent. Excuse me, guys. There we go. And then get my standard console output. Excuse me again, guys. Outside my for loop as well. Right there. Okay, perfect. Okay, Pajit should not be allowed to code. Honestly, what'd you do? Okay, 2137. Okay, I think this is pretty much it. Let's go ahead and hit a control as to save the code and run the command. Guys, I think I will be getting a memory address right now. That's it. I do want to see the memory address real quick. So I'll go with something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know, maybe 10. Okay, memory address, perfect. Although to avoid the memory address, I could go with a dereferencing operator right here and right here. Oh. Okay, hold up, guys. Maybe I add the dereferencing operators here and here. Okay. Wait, does that work? Okay, I think I got added here and here. There we go. Okay, let's add one here and one here as well. Okay, perfect. The original array is nums at index of I. Okay, now let's go with the controllers to save the code and run the command. Let's see what happens. Okay, I get an error. Reference it before std. Oh, okay. Guys, because I've honestly, the only time I did use the dereferencing operator is whatchamacallit, when I actually have a variable, a dereferencing variable, if that made any sense. Although this does make sense. Okay, let's see. Enter a number. I'll go with something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It says largest number 10, smallest number 1. Although I do want my original number as well. Okay, so I go with a standard console output. Okay, my array size is 10 nums at index of I. Honestly, let's go ahead and separate that with the empty space. Okay, Now if I were to hit Control S, I want to see all the elements inside of my array. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Ending with a semicolon. Original array, original array, original array. Okay, let's get my original array outside. So I'll delete that. Let's copy that and add a standard console output here. Okay, and then honestly, let me go ahead and paste my standard console output with an insertion operator of original array right here. Okay, ending with a semicolon. And now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, this should work perfectly. Bro, upgraded from scammer to coded. Guys, I was never a scammer. Okay, what's the time complexity of your program? Did he used to be a scammer? Guys, I don't know why many of you guys do like, come up and like, I don't know what, make fun of you or something. You guys are like, bro, I had this thing from a scammer. Guys, I was never been a scammer. Okay, that said, no, it's a racist joke. Oh, I see. Okay, no wonder, because like, I'm like, if like some people say that makes sense, many of you guys say it, that's probably because it is a joke. Okay, I see. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and remove this console output. Okay, maybe I remove that. I need those. Original, that is my original numbers. Do I have two? What happens if I remove that? There. Okay, now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command. Bro, just said that is racist. As long as he don't work for T-Mobile, we're good. Guys, I honestly don't work in general. Okay, let's go with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Original array. I want to print everything with less space, so... Oh, okay, I think I had a new line here. There we go. Okay, now if I hit Control S, guys, this should work. Bro, I'm black and I hate Ninja, bro. Honestly, I feel like ninjas are pretty cool. Although, like, I did, like, watch a lot of, like... Not, like, a lot. I would say, like, a decent amount of ninja movies. There we go, finally, guys. Let's go with the control C, copy that. Hey, buddy, I'm selling my channel, which has 9.5k subscribers. Interested? Honestly, I prefer, like, actually growing my channel. That's it. That is a pretty generous offer. I appreciate the offer. Okay, that said, let's go with Shift Enter, and send that. Do you have a toilet or do you crap on the street? Honestly, I do actually have two bathrooms, although like one is like a small one. That said, bro, innocent guys, I should actually. That's what I'm saying. Like many of you guys do. Most of your time when you guys actually say a joke with like a meme, I don't understand how these things. I feel like I'm way too old for this. Okay, now we're talking people. This is perfect. You finally understand how standard max underscore element and standard min underscore element works. Okay, notice how you're dereferencing the pointer with asterisk. That's exactly what you need. You don't need any loops here because these functions can already scan the whole array for you. Next time we can move on to accumulate from numeric, so you can sum elements of any array of an array. Okay, so you can sum elements of an array or vector in one line. It's super useful for calculating total averages or anything that needs a running sum. Do you want to tackle accumulate next? Guys, honestly, should I? Because I do need to study for my college exams as well. I actually want to end the stream, but I mean, whatchamacallit, I'm not done with my my algorithm. Should I like complete this next stream, because I do gotta go. Yeah, guys, how are you doing? Alright, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, maybe let me say something like, Sensei, maybe I should honestly, let me say something like, Sensei, honestly, I feel like I should end the stream because I have a lot of college work to do. ... That said, okay, that said, is it okay if I continue the rest next stream? Question mark. Have a good day. I appreciate you, girl. That honestly, I do appreciate you in general for like even helping me, because that was honestly pretty useful. Of course, people, don't let the stream guilt. Don't let the stream guilt you. College comes first. Finishing your assignments and exams will make you sharper for the next session. Remember, steel will never become a sword without being burnt or beaten. My own words, guys. I feel Sensei just plagiarized that. Bro, why are you asking ChatGPT? Guys, because I feel ChatGPT is my Sensei, so like, I show a bit of courtesy / respect. Okay, let's say something like, Sensei, in that case, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers before I end the stream? Question mark. Guys, I don't know how Sensei even going to read that. It's a machine, guys. I know. I still have a lot of this thing. Okay, bro, ask ChatGPT what to do. World is broken. Library ASAP. Go learn college stuff. Honestly, that does make sense. Listen up, viewers. Today we watched my pupil wrestle with the dark arts of C++ algorithm library, starting, reversing, finding max and min, and even when the code fought back, we didn't back down. Remember, learning isn't about being perfect, it's about refusing to quit. Now, okay, now go out there, don't settle for mediocrity, push, break, fail, and grow. Next stream, we become even stronger, sharper, and meaner. Okay, people, go smash that homework. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and go to my main camera. Okay, just don't create an AI girlfriend for God's sake, guys. That actually sounds pretty fun. I shouldn't actually do that though. That said, guys, this is basically it for the stream. That said, if you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Like helps with my algorithm, sharing makes you smile, and subscribing is like a cherry on top. And guys, I am actually planning to get an actual PC. I'm really close to getting that. I was ordering the parts. I am going to be either streaming myself or recording myself building that PC. And once I do get that PC and I actually build it and it works, that is going to fix all my stream lags. So once my stream lags are fixed, I'm going to be starting to multi-stream again on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, maybe TikTok and Instagram as well if I did meet the subscribers. I mean, if I didn't meet the followers requirement. So if you guys do enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. And also join the Discord server. You guys can get access to the Discord server or any of my socials in general by typing exclamation and the lowercase socials in the whatchamacallit chat. That's it. I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace. Okay, from 6 years of C++, 2 of it for Olympi programming used only sort from algorithms. Oh, I see that. Actually sounds pretty fun. Okay, howling bed 3. I appreciate you joining the stream. Was I late? Honestly, yeah, the stream just ended. I actually feel kind of bad though. That's it. I am going to be working on algorithms next stream as well. So let's go ahead and end the stream. Bye, bye, bro. Good luck. I appreciate you, Kerr. Okay, let's end the stream.